people want to go out, you're going to want to increase the time. And it says that too short. You cannot be a cancer, then you want to run home. You cannot be a lawmaker that then you strike the law that we lay ourselves. Then you say you want to stand out and then you waste your time. Nobody can be for the government economy. But when we kill people, it's not happening and it will never happen. The only thing they are there for, when last people on their government keep and say, Saturday people, don't know what more than giving 1% of what we import. But they say that over there import their family protocol in need home. Is that the person that need home and that the person Saturday people say they want there? We import our family protocol. Some people are happy because it is the time to be happy. It is no party time when the country is not better. It is every party time when the country is better. And we give this as a challenge to all of you people. 2029, we may be on the ballot for the presidency. Well, we will come here and say, Brother Sakolet, you people will have to appoint the commissioner for Sakolet. Brother Sakolet, they are educated people. It's not about education. It's about how well you govern the people. They have people that got degrees, they know nothing. The only person who will enter people that they can't achieve nothing from. Our marketeers will come to power. In every country, at least 2 million and break out of marketeers, split rather, and younger ones to empower themselves. The money is there, but everything is wrong with what they're out. Because we are close.
Tell yourself, brother, to forget about Yaka Koluba.
What is Baladino Yaka Koluba?
If tell Yaka Koluba, someone Yaka Koluba forcing you, you are not letting them talk. You forsake yourself, why Yaka Koluba forcing you? Whether Yaka Koluba forcing from here, you want to know a lot of Yaka Koluba. So to tell now, and you tell who they say about Yaka Koluba for that, and I'm going to look for Yaka Koluba there. You know when I want to do around there, you move all the way to go just to take a vote over Yaka Koluba.
Last year you go for Yaka.
Yes.
Samu Bene.
Because Yaka Koluba and the one that is talking to you know us. So you are telling to me Yaka Koluba because a budget.
Oh, Yaka can be calling to the president. It's not a good thing.
Yes. They're happy. Saying that you are not happy to you. When you are not going to betray Yaka Koluba or betray the great people in life today, Yaka Koluba are not going to be passing. You understand? You have to get them out of there for Yaka Koluba. You can't look for Yaka Koluba there to sell up on the land.
You go for Yaka?
No, they're still there. They're not there to respect Yaka Koluba for them. You know what's going to get Yaka Koluba for them or without only. They see that they do for them for Yaka Koluba. They don't forget for Yaka Koluba. Anything people are proud of them. Then they say, Yaka, the way you not to tell the country and they for them. You say you're going to talk about Russia for their country. Now you're calling them more for no money. People are dying every day.
He said the president problem is the most corrupt.
No, I said I'm coming down. So I will shut you. You shut me down for that for Yaka Koluba. I'm going to Yaka Koluba and not talking to you. Then you forget for Yaka Koluba. Now I want to look at my day and send you down Yaka Koluba. Then you forget for Yaka Koluba. Anything I do for me, I do for the other person. Then you leave Yaka Koluba. We don't know what they will know you. Our sister will go to the Yaka Koluba for them. Now you know what. They are not doing Yaka Koluba in our house.
Okay. All right, coming to anything you want to say for now before we leave you? Thank you so much.
Yes, we are there. You know, see, because some of the rest of the corner, so the rest of our corner, they do our own day. And the kind of other people make kind of work here with advance. You can't continue for it. Tell me to forget about your company by it. Okay.
Hello.
Yeah,
man.
I'm sorry you made me struggle. I heard you last night near Kun indeed to me for absolutely after the whole election. At in a corner. If you hear my preaching mostly, you will conclude that I'm right. Will you rescue as a nomenclature after winning. The broadcaster don't even answer my phone. They don't pick me up. They don't let me down. They don't even have time. I don't talk. Yeah, I don't talk because God knows why it's happening. And everything I will accept it because our son, who is vice president to him from Nima, will not understand if I start hating on Breaker. The Senate set a trap for Breaker. When we have wrote, the Senate did a comprehensive report of their findings and attached the Supreme Court ruling and the amnesty law and everything. And the position statement for those commissioners who decided from February to here and said the way forward is a Panama House discussion for peace. Then when Brother come now, he is deceived by coming there. The Dillon there, won't be there. And you know where he's just thinking all kind of way better, all kind of thing. He won't go after people. Then, you know, the CDC still control the lower house in the upper house. So they went some kind of way, some kind of thing they did, but I think they did a resolution that passed because of money crossing. Yeah. Then they sent it to the Senate. Then something happened. Wow! All that they almost went to Yombi house. Then they brought it that Tuesday morning. They didn't tell me they had it for me. Oh! Then when I heard what was happening, it was remain 2 persons to sign. That was me, that was Bani, Jim Bani. Now when I went to Coon, I said, what is going on? You were here when we had sent paper, and you were here with our own election. When they were coming, they said they were freedom fighters. When they were coming, they said they were liberators. But when they came, they changed their mind. When they came, they changed their mind. What kind of people is it? What kind of people is it? You freedom fighter, you raising our women. You freedom fighter, you killing our children. Freedom fighter, you killing our
Did you think I knew, or did you think I mistook you for it? A man who cannot even operate a laptop. No, we made a compromise. That's all. We settled. We compromised. And we leave the way we planned. And we're sitting.
When they were coming, they said they were liberators. When they were coming, they said they were liberators. But when they came, they changed their mind. When they came, they changed their mind. What kind of people is it?
Vice President, we have been begging for money.
What kind of people is it? The freedom fighter, you gave me our women. The freedom fighter, you gave me our children. The freedom fighter, you destroyed our country. One more freedom
Oh, yes, indeed.
What a great day. What a wonderful opportunity it feels to be back behind these microphones to engage on the issues that matter to Liberia's growth and development. It is another beautiful and wet morning from the nation's capital in Monrovia. A pleasant good morning and welcome to all of you, our friends, our followers, and to those of you in the diaspora. It's always a good thing to join us, of course, for breakfast right here on the big station Freedom 87.9, and this is the nation's premier breakfast platform, the Freedom Money Rise on Freedom 87.9. It is always a good thing to be here. There are too many things to talk about, lots of things happening in Liberia, and of course,
when they were coming, they said they were liberators.
this is exactly where you get the analysis of those issues.
But when they give their time, they teach their mind.
Making news in Liberia.
They teach their mind. What kind of people they see?
This is the January 6, 2026 edition, and the menu looks like this. This morning, we will be munching on just before the actual menu. The appetizer this morning is run over the Foya Mansion. Justification from the president's interview on ELBC before the holiday break versus Mr. Anthony Keselo, who disagrees with the president and said the accounts provided by the president are false and misleading. He has the most reliable accounts. The contradictions are there. I will unpack these for you right here. And of course, the one from the journalist, Philibert, part of the in-house. I saw on the social media a video circulating of General Botnick where he spoke some diatribe about former officials and seemingly threatening members of the CDC and the opposition. We have a thing to say, a thing or two to say about that. And of course, yesterday we witnessed Liberia on behalf of the African nation, the G3 group, at the Emergency United Nations meeting, took a position on the U.S.-Venezuela rift. Okay. What about the Port Autonomy Bill? Lots of people are talking about that. There was this bill to decentralize the port system from the National Port Authority to give some degree of autonomy to other ports around the country. And so the instrument that was submitted, formulated and submitted, that passed through the legislature, reached the president, and then the president vetoed and sent it back. But it is understood that, of course, the very version and some of what the president recommended to have been done with the instrument were not. Apparently, elements from within the cycle of the executive colluding with lawmakers with vested interest in this opted to resubmit the very version, and they made no change, and they sent it just like that, indicating that the president is a mumu. Just sent the same thing. And so this has also sparked some level of debate This too is Liberia. What a good day. Of course. And at 9 o'clock, folks, the big one is at 9 o'clock this morning with our own good friend and brother, Councillor Kanu Bagbala. Of course, he has been in the news since the 2023 election happened, transition happened, new government took office, and of course, Councillor Bala decided to take a 360-degree turnaround from being the spokesman of the CDC campaign seeking the re-election of President George Manneh Weah then, on account of the strength of his deliverables and achievement for the country. Today, Kanye has somersaulted in the minds of his critics into what he himself has defined as a centrism. What is the definition of Kanye's centrism? What does it mean? How should we understand Kanye as a centrist and Kanye as a sedition? These things the public has continued to ponder over. We ourselves have had our own initial positions and all of that. So we thought to hear from the man himself, and he has graciously accepted. The interview is going to be conducted. This is not a debate. It's going to be an interview for information and education purposes. Right here, coming up at 9 o'clock on the big station, Freedom 87.9. And I know you don't want to mix it. Kanye has agreed to put his idea to test with the masses. This is an opportunity for the masses to equally and directly engage Kanye and understand from whence he comes. The shipping sides of the conversation right here on the big station, Freedom 87.9. My name is Abu Sharif. It's always a good thing to be here. And of course, having conversations about all of the issues that matter to Liberia's growth and development. And yes, it is a good day. Sure, indeed. Okay. Yes, we're here. And shortly, Hagar will join us. And once Hagar joins, we're going to go. So today is Tuesday, and of course, the cash giveaway is on star 255 star 1 hash, star 255 star 1 hash. I'm told for those using the button phone, right? For those using the smartphone, star 255 star 1 hash. In which way you stand a chance to win as much as $15,000 this morning on the show. Okay. Right here. So the menu is actually very loaded, so we have not much time to waste. Let's bring in Crime Stopper Liberia shortly. Then when we come back, we'll rumble through the issues right here, recognize some of our followers following us via the social media, right? YouTube and Facebook. Please kindly help us share the live. And of course, you can drop your comments and reaction to some of the talking points here right here this morning. Or you can also drop your concerns and, of course, inquiry as we will be taking Councillor Kanu Bala right here at 9 o'clock on the show this morning. Right. So tell us, what do you think right here? And of course, we'll bring some of these things up once Kanye join the show right here on Freedom 87.9. This break will Crime Stopper Liberia, and we will be right back.
More musical, then I many places, in every community, you can see. So if you see crime, report it. Don't take law in your hands for your authority. That it can't take your law in. Crime stopper here for us. We need safety to your door. Whether you rich or you poor. If you see you not attack enemy, you check. You wait for your safety. If you see don't keep it. You know part of the boy. Crime stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime stopper, stopping crime and make it peace for them before. Crime stopper, Liberia, from the center to interior. Crime stopper, keeping us safe and stopping crime for all of us. Crime stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime stopper, stopping crime and make it peace for them before. Crime stopper, Liberia, from the center to interior. Crime stopper, keeping us safe and stopping crime for all of us.
Crime Stopper Liberia is your community crime fighting partner. Don't take the law into your own hands. Remember, if you see a crime, report it. This is a message from your own self, Old Man Sam Sion.
Crime Stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper, stopping crime and making peace for them before. Crime Stopper, Liberia, from the center to interior. Crime Stopper, keeping us safe, the stopping crime for all of us. Crime Stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper, stopping crime and making peace for them before. Crime Stopper, Liberia, from the center to interior. Crime Stopper, keeping us safe, let's stop it, crime for all of us.
Okay, Crime Stopper Liberia, folks. It's good to be back right here, and so let's bring you some of the reactions right here this morning from folks joining us. Keep sharing the live, and of course, invite others to follow. Right here this morning, we got some very interesting things to talk about here. Good morning, Freedom FM family. This is coming from Gore Mainimi 2. He says, Jonathan S. Sansua Senior, good morning, guys. I'm watching from Front Street, Monrovia. Thanks a lot. Moalu Fufana, good morning, family. I'm following from 20th Street in Sinka. Mohammed Mariama J. Sharif, good morning, Abu. I'm watching from Mamadi Diakita Intellectual Forum in Jacobtown, St. Francis Community. Okay, Roland Sua, good morning. Freedom Radio Liberia. I'm Roland Sua watching from Johnsonville, Kangatown. Joshua Morris, good morning. Freedom FM. This is Ibrahim Tanu Johnson. Good morning, Freedom FM. I'm following you from Bartown, Sinji District, Bomi County. Thanks a lot. I don't know how's the road condition now, whether any intervention has been made on that corridor around the Clay area there. Emmett Hammer following live from this morning from Cac City. Thanks a lot. Nathan Page, good morning, Freedom FM. There are a lot of you joining and following. Keep dropping your comments and sharing the live as much as possible. Let's have a lot of people to follow. Patricia Levy Marsh, good morning, Abu. I'm watching from Deville. Where is Deville? That's Deville. Okay. Amos G.S. Davis. Good morning, Freedom family. Sekou Fofana, good morning, brother. S. Atanaye Johnson, good morning, brother. Thanks a lot, and good morning to all of you as well. James Lamy is also following. Tama Jackson, Duffus King, Chris Sokolo Jr. is also watching from way there in Brown County, District Number 1, David Dean Town. Achi Do is following from Cote d'Ivoire, Thai region. You have Tamar Jackson. My name is Tamar Jackson from Chubo Old Road, District Number 10. The folks from District Number 3, you have to follow. Kanye is going to be here. So District 3, the young people and all of you have to come on and let's talk about this together. Johnson Dole. Good morning, guys. I'm watching from my New Jersey resident there. Amajala Kamara from Brussels. Of course, he is, just as many of you, a regular follower of the show, and we're grateful to all of you. Gadi OP joins from JJY Gatnesville, and this is D. Julie Nangbe. Good morning, guys. I am David Nangbe from Keba Community, Batnesville Township. Fofana King is here. You have Damoling Water, Janji Bakper. It's good to have you join us. Soup Janji Bakper from Marshall City. J. Gawulu Johnson is also following. Augustine T. Musa, Philip Morba, Augustine Musa back again, and of course Coco T. Daniel Tattoo T Tattoo, right? That's Kokolo T. Daniel T Tattoo is following from where? Way there somewhere. Adam Washington, Afrep Pay, and Ziki Leo Pico, Lucky Grunaball, somebody says, is also joining. Jacob Moore Quay, Philip M. Morba, Thomas P. I'm not sure we can do it all, but keep dropping. And of course, let's see, Brooks Dennis, Wonderfully Made, Mark Kura, our own man from Ganta City. Mark, good morning, and thanks to all of you for joining. Keep sharing the live, and of course, dropping your comments and reactions right here on the show. Shortly, we will dive into the nitty-gritty. Okay, we will dive into it. All right, shortly we will dive into it. Right, yeah, so no time to waste, folks. Like we said, too many things to talk about, lots of things. So, okay, let me begin with this one. Okay, yeah. Okay. Let me begin with this one here about this put autonomy stuff. You know, like we told you, there are people who are proposing and, of course, recommending that there be that our put in system is decentralized instead of what we have currently, where you have a national port authority that provides oversight over all of the ports across the country, and others are saying we have come a point where we have to consider decentralizing the port, and you know, and holding all of the factors constant. So they have developed, you know, a bill, a proposal, which they submitted initially, and the president vetoed and said that they needed to go back and correct some things. So it's important to just let you know that importantly, part of what the president vetoed the first time they submitted the bill was that substantive issues on page 2 of the veto letter and substantive issue number 6 read as follows. This act will significantly weaken the Liberia Maritime Authority's statutory powers by transferring regulatory functions to a new agency. If signed into law, the act will substantially render the Liberia Maritime Authority partially redundant, right? So the law the people, when they put together, that law threatened the authority of the Liberia Maritime Authority and will partially render them redundant. So the president in his veto, right, said that needed to be fixed, that needed to be clearly dealt with, and all of that. So did the Revised Act address this veto, right? As seen by many, it seems clearly that the Revised Act did not even do anything about the veto by the president, right? The Revised Act, right? So when you check it up, then you know exactly. So the Justice Minister's opinion on the port law is also important for us to look at. and all of that, right? So, one. Furthermore, the Act's hybrid structure, resembling elements of different international governance models without adopting any single model coherently, creates a framework that lacks precedent among successful maritime administrations worldwide. The structural novelty, while not inherently problematic, requires careful justification and comprehensive planning that appears to be absent from the current legislation. That's what the Attorney General of the Republic of Liberia said. In the second part, the Attorney General spoke about the political and institutional implications. The political and institutional implications that the Attorney General found problematic with the proposal is that the exclusion of the executive from such significant legislative action also carries profound political implications that extend beyond the immediate maritime restructuring. Now, so the Attorney General is saying that the elements who intended to do this exclusively handle it at the level of the legislature. Yombly, Dillon, and Kapi, and some other people with vested interests and all of that, and they did so excluding the involvement, collaboration with the executive branch, which for him has political ramifications that are dire and extend far beyond the limit of maritime restructuring. It establishes a precedent for unilateral legislative action that could fundamentally alter the dynamics of inter-branch relations in Liberia's democratic system. When the legislature demonstrates that it will proceed with major governmental restructuring without executive consultation, it signals a shift towards a more adversarial relationship between the branches of government. So that's what the lawyer, the Attorney General of the Republic, is saying, that the lawmakers are unilaterally, deciding to institute a legal change to our port infrastructure and all of that, and the management and our maritime laws, right, without the involvement and constitutional participation of the executive. So you see, when we argue here that the country has been running in a haphazard manner, a manner that's not adequately adhering to the tenets of our constitutional democratic order, then others will be like this. But this, here is it. This is coming from the Attorney General. So at some point, you see the executive trying to do things exclusively, not recognizing, the constitutional order of ensuring a collaborative, framework in which both the executive, the legislature, and other relevant element of our democratic framework will work in a much more productive manner to serving the collective and general interest. And the reason why you see these things happen when there are extreme vested interests, right, that clearly violate the public good. This is what you have, right? So this precedent, according to the Attorney General in his opinion, could encourage future legislature to bypass executive consultation on other significant matters. So the Attorney General says, if this is allowed to happen, obviously we're setting a precedent where in the future you could have a legislature that will go ahead, resting on this, to go ahead and bypass the executive and carry out things, and you could have a very noisy government, and the future that we have to work to protect and guarantee will rather be destroying that, and it will be terrible. right? That's what the Attorney General says about the port autonomy bill that's being heavily supported by the pro tempore of the Liberian Senate. In fact, she's one of the lead champions of that. So gradually eroding the collaborative approach that has characterized Liberia governance. The cumulative effect of such actions could be the development of a more rigid separation between the branches, where each operates in isolation rather than in the cooperative manner that typically produces the most effective governance outcome. Furthermore, the political implications extend to public perception of governmental effectiveness. Citizens expect their government to operate cohesively, with different branches working together to address national issues. That's what. So the bill generally violates all of that. The bill, there are a bunch of legislators who have extreme vested interest have said that they will go ahead with this thing, even though the president has vetoed. They're going again. They've passed on it, and this is where we are. That's the government that we have, right? So let's see substantive issue number 9, as vetoed by the president. The general powers conferred upon such a bill are broad and far-reaching. Some include the collective or the collection of 10% of the revenue of all ports in Liberia to fund the new agency. So, in the people who are proposing, Yombly then say, so all the port in the country, the revenue that they will generate, right? 10% of that revenue should be taken and to support the agency that they are proposing. So the question becomes, the president disagrees with that. That's what they call veto. So the president says you have to correct this. We believe that this general power that has been conferred upon this bill are too broad and far-reaching. So we need to be specific. We need to be more direct and all of that, and see how we are not undermining certain elements of our structure as they exist. Did the Revised Act address this veto? Clearly, from what we've heard and seen in the corridor, no. The section of the bill, section 406 of the Revised Act, did not clearly address the president's veto. So other substantive issues, see substantive issues number 4 of the veto letter. The general powers, like we said, conferred, did not address that. Most significantly, grants the agency the power to enforce regulations of the Maritime Authority pertaining to the inspection, testing, and supervision of seacraft. So did the bill also address that? Absolutely not, right? And so the implication of executive exclusion from the legislative process, as opined by the Attorney General of the Republic of Liberia, Councillor Natu Oswald-Toure, says that while the legislature action in attempting to restructure Liberia's maritime sector may be constitutionally permissible, the decision to exclude the executive from the process carries significant implications that extend far beyond the immediate legislative acts themselves. These implications, though not raising to the level of constitutional violation, nonetheless affect the fabric of governance in ways that merit serious consideration. All right, regulatory conflict and governance risks. Councillor Natu Oswald-Toure further opined, the Act creates a regulatory framework that is internally inconsistent, conflicts with established agency, and deviates from both domestic governance trends and international best practices without adequate justification. The convergence of regulatory, operational, and oversight functions within a single agency contradicts the principle of regulatory independence and creates inherent conflict of interest that could compromise effective maritime governance. Folks, that is that, just to update you on this aspect of what is happening around the this whole issue about the port autonomy and blah blah blah. So keep following that to bring and other issues. So on yesterday, the Liberia representative to the United Nations, Ambassador Louis Brown, addressed the emergency session of the United Nations on matters relative to the situation in Venezuela, where we witnessed the overnight abduction of its president and head of state, flown out of the country, taken to the United States of America, and to face criminal charges. That process has been ongoing. So Liberia took a stand. Liberia took a position, and it's interesting. It's important for us to see where Liberia stood and all of that. So this is it. A report coming in says that clearly Liberia condemns U.S. action against Venezuela, expressed solidarity with Maduro. So Liberia has called for calm, dialogue, and strict adherence to international laws as the United Nations Security Council deliberated on the deepening political crisis in Venezuela. Delivering Liberia's statement, Ambassador Louis Brown, the second permanent representative of Liberia to the United Nations, spoke on behalf of the A3 African members of the Security Council. That's the A3 group, emphasizing concern over recent development in the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela, including reports surrounding the detention of President Nicolas Maduro and his wife, as well as disruption affecting state institutions, etc. Addressing the council, Ambassador Brown thanked the presidency for convening the meeting and congratulated Somalia on assuming the rotating presidency of the Security Council. He also acknowledged the briefing by UN Under Secretary General Carlos and contributions from civil society representatives while welcoming Venezuela and regional stakeholders into the discussion. The A3 aligned itself with the African Union recent communique on Venezuela, warning that unfolding situation poses serious risks not only to Venezuela's internal stability, but also to wider regional peace and security. Reaffirming long-standing principles, Liberia underscored the A3's commitment to the sovereignty and territorial integrity of the state of Venezuela, as enshrined in the UN Charter. Ambassador Brown stressed that these principles remain central to international cooperation and peaceful coexistence among nations. So, folks, in a nutshell, expressing solidarity with the people of Venezuela, the A3 urged all actors, both domestic and international, to coexist, right? Exercise restraint, uphold international law, and refrain from actions that could inflame tension or destabilize the region. So now that was what the government, through its representative position, was to the United Nations, saying that the action taken clearly by the U.S. government in Venezuela poses a clear risk of tension and, of course, destabilizes the region, and that the actions is condemnable and does not conform and adhere to international standards of cooperation and, of course, an international order that supports cooperation and peaceful coexistence and all of that. So Liberia believes the actions were arbitrary and violates international laws and all of that. And this has ignited some degree of debate back home, where this sharply contradict Liberia's historic stance with the United States of America, where Liberia seemingly allied with the position of the United States of America, and in instances, Liberia will decline to take a position, particularly that goes against American interests, simply because of the historic diplomatic ties that Liberia and America have always enjoyed, and the support that Liberia has gained out of the relationship with America. The dividends are huge, from the formation of Liberia to independence, and of course the recognition of Liberia, and of course the protection of Liberia territorial integrity. America have always stood there more than any other country. No degree of international political rhetoric could substitute for what America has done for Liberia. So successive leaders have always recognized, in spite of the fact that it is a good thing to maintain America in our corner, as much as we have our own views, but our views align significantly with the American version of what liberal democracy is. So we have always pursued a path of neutrality in an event where there are extreme kind of situation involving America. We saw that recently at the church service of former President George Weah, where he spoke about some of the reasons why he believed the overpass project were suspended during his regime, when all of the arrangements were done and all of that, but then got suspended. He said that was simply because the Chinese authority, who have preferred the Liberian government then to take a position against the U.S., and they opted as a government resting on the history of Liberia relations with America to abstain and remain neutral and allow the two countries to settle out whatever diplomatic rift or issues that they were having. Fast forward, this new government, new administration have said, no, that is not the way to go ahead. The way to go ahead is to be clear that we have listened to several commentaries from war position elements within the government. The Senate chair on foreign affairs on American soil declared that Liberia will no longer be there for, I can't quote him correct, but Dillon actually tried to paint a picture that at this point, Liberia will always pursue what she sees as her interest, and they're not going to follow anybody. Saying technically that that culture of always following the U.S. has ended, and they are going to pursue, the diplomatic engagement to what they believe will benefit the country and benefit the government. So ever since Liberia has continued to do that, they have entered into open relationship with China and other Eastern Bloc countries, right? Communist and socialist administrations, undemocratic regimes. They continue to do business. We've seen diplomats of this government travel in terrains where there have been unconstitutional takeover of power, where the African Union has condemned the U.S. and other democratic republic. We've seen this government go and giving green light to this republic and all of that. So there's a whole new diplomatic turnaround from the look of things, right? And that was also exemplified yesterday when Ambassador Brown addressed the special session, the emergency session yesterday. So now, as a country, are we prepared to withstand whatever consequences that these diplomatic moves comes with? Understanding the leadership in Washington and all of that. Are we prepared as a country? Is the government adequately ready to withstand the consequences? Are Liberians prepared for what many will consider a bold step by the government? It's being bold to stay in the face of the U.S. and be condemning the U.S. and be taking actions against the U.S., seemingly describing the U.S. as a rogue regime, as an undemocratic regime, a regime that does not respect the sovereignty of other people. They move in and they carry out gangster abduction of a sitting president. This is actually this is the portrayal of the Liberian government's position on the Venezuelan situation. Are we prepared for that? Are we prepared to go into something with the U.S.? In 2025, we witnessed the closure of USAID and also the closure of the Swedish. We're getting report that a major concession in Liberia is opting to close down. And this is dire, this is terrible, and this is going to cost over 3,000 jobs. When that happened, over 3,000 jobs, we will lay our hands on all of the facts will tell you. So we are saying, while these things are happening domestically, the portrayal, the actions that are taken internationally by our government, what is it going to do? Is it going to help to mitigate or remedy the domestic challenges that we're already confronted with, or is going to further exacerbate the suffering, the hardship? Who's advising the president? I'm told the managing director of the Water and Seaward was being quoted as sounding harsh on the United States government, and different officials of the Buakai regime has come clear. It is almost clearly apparent that the position of this government is anti-America. You listen to other times. We play the statement from the head of the Liberia Broadcasting System, right, where he condemned the U.S. and called them an irresponsible partner to America, that our partnership with them, we've benefited nothing as a country. This is the position of the Buakai administration. And in politics, in diplomacy, there is reciprocity. So are we prepared? So this is it. We hold it right there. We stop it right there. So let's go to FOIA. Let's go to FOIA quickly. At 9 o'clock, folks, we'll open the phone line. At 9 o'clock, we'll be joined by Councillor Kanu Bagbala. And of course, he's going to talk to us about a lot of things right here. Probably will chip in and get his thought on some of these issues as well. This is the Freedom Money Rise. The cash giver is also active on *255*1#. The more you play, the better your chances are to win. So let's see something, folks. The president of the Republic of Liberia spoke and said some things about the FOIA project that we want to juxtapose with what an official of his government said equally about that same project. There are a lot of contradictions. So let me play the voices, and then we'll come to what the journalist also said. Right, it's important. Then we'll come to what the journalist said, so we know exactly where we are headed. This is quite an interesting thing. And folks, the debate at the Capitol building is intensifying. The push to remove the speaker is gaining traction, and of course, some lawmakers are beginning to be very, very determined in their quest to remove what they will consider a character that's not befitting of the seat of the speaker. So, but let's hear from the president when he spoke about the FOIA project.
The project that you go there, there's nothing there in my name. So who's in it? That's the project that you go there, there's nothing there in my name. So who's in it? So who's there in my project? They said funded by Liberia exclusively. It's going to be funded under the Mana River. That means.
Did you listen to the president? When Tima Gilate asked him, so who's funding the project? The president said, it's got to be the Mana River Union. That's what the president said. The president is the chief validator of the Republic of Liberia. Any information is the president that comes to validate, right? So the president said that the project is funded by the Mana River Union. Okay, folks.
Guinea, Australia, Cote d'Ivoire.
And he's naming the country. He said Guinea,
Guinea,
Sierra Leone, and Cote d'Ivoire. That's what the president said. The president said Guinea, Sierra Leone, and Cote d'Ivoire are members of the Mana River Union that's funding the project. That was the question he was asked on the interview on ELBC.
But it's up already. It's on. They've been funded. Why didn't they tell you about the project? Well, you know me, they know very well I would have resented initially.
Hold this. There are too many things to ponder over. As head of state of the president of the country, and of course as member of the Executive Council of the Mana River Union, the very president that says that the project is being funded by the Mana River Union tells us that the project was done without his knowledge, was done to surprise him. I don't know what reason, what interest would the Mana River Union have in surpassing our president to develop or build a Mana River Union Peace Center in Foya. This is a deliberate lie. This is a classic misrepresentation. And for this to be coming from the president is shameful and is disgraceful. This is disheartening. This is absolutely despicable, right, folks? The president is a member of the Mana River Union Executive Council, right? Where that's the highest decision making body of the Mana River Union. And they have spaces where they interact and everything about the union is shared there and they're updated. But our president says that no, all the three presidents in the region, the other three presidents decided that they will surprise him. I don't know what he has offered the Mana River that they will just decide to surprise him and all of that, right? As if to say everybody in the country are fools. This was a blatant lie. And for the president of the country to be telling lies in this form and manner, it is only Liberia that can do and countenance and live normally with these kinds of abomination. This is an abomination for a president, an old man with over 40 years of governance experience, right? Lied about a situation. He is not even thinking about correcting the mess, the embarrassment, the shame, and the disgrace that he has brought to the country, right? But he took to a national platform and deliberately lie and deceive the country, right? How dare you sit there and say that project, contrary to what your own government, the official government of Liberia position on the project contradicts what the president said. But wait, this is not the only contradiction. We'll come to that. Let's hear from the deputy spokesman, the deputy minister for what? The deputy minister for public affairs in the office of the president, right? Disagree and contradicting the president. So who should we listen to? Do you want a country like this? Where in the world do you see people want a country where everybody is talking differently about a situation? This is classic corruption. This is stealing. This is corruption in the highest order. And everybody is embarrassed. The president must take full responsibility of this, and the president must take full responsibility of this and give account for that. Because you know what? There are questions that the president has to answer. How do you invest millions, 10 million, and you all have to believe there's 10 million because the contradictions are too disturbing. Disturbing contradictions. One person will say 5 million, another person will say 6 million, another person will say 9 million, another person will say 7 million, another person will say 10 million. So we'll stick to the 10 million.
If it means MRE, that doesn't mean you are the flag pool out there for different countries. Typically, this is like the government of Nigeria.
Okay, do you listen? Anthony Keseli says, contrary to what the president have said, right? I've told us earlier that no, it is a lie. This is owned by the government of Liberia. But the president said no. This has got nothing to do with him, nor the government of Liberia. It is funded by the MRU and it is for the MRU. That's what the president said. Anthony V. Keseli, when journalists asked him when they went to tour the facility, this is what Anthony V. Keseli said about his boss.
You are the flag pool out there for different countries.
So Anthony V. Keseli says, you see all the flag poles here? So what you listen to that is MRE project is a blatant lie, right? It is a government of Liberia project. Listen to that.
Owned by the government of Nigeria.
It's owned by the government of Liberia. Contributions may come from other regional partners. Hey, this is the point at which just recently when they went to tour, right? V. Kesari said that contribution may come from other regional partners, but the president said on ERBC weeks prior, right, to this interview on the inspection of the facility that, look, folks, fellow Liberians, contribution may come. It is not even certain, right? It may come. So the president said the project is being funded by the MRU. His deputy for public affairs telling us that contribution from MRU may come. So then the question becomes, where did they get the money from to start the project and bring it to where it is before the inspection happened, right? And that we are still waiting for the MRU to contribute. For those of you who said Bwaka was an honest man, he doesn't tell lie, he has integrity, does this look like a president with integrity? Does this sound like a president that never tells lie? Right? Isn't this a lying president? Right? This is clearly a lying president. You're very subordinate, right? Are exposing the lies and deception in this old man belly. And this is what we are seeing. Listen to the man, right?
They said that they will contribute. Some of them have committed to contributing. There is a speculation around that. Oh, this is built by MRU. The president never said that this is.
Hey, shut up. He says there's a speculation that this is no, it is in a speculation. Never became, especially when the president spoke to the issue and validated. If he thought it was a speculation, the president validated the speculations that it was an MRU project. Who funds the project? The funder of the project, right? Sponsors the project. And the president said it's going to be for MRU purposes, not for the government of Liberia, right? So who are you to say that the president is speculating?
It means MRU. That doesn't mean it is MRU solely that is.
Okay, so Anthony V. Kesari basically is trying to say that he is more educated than the president, and he understands the issues about the project more than the president, right? So you're saying, don't listen to that man. He's a dummy. He knows not what he's saying. But I'm telling you, it could be NEEM or it is NEEM MRU. It doesn't mean it is the MRU project. But the president says no, right? It is NEEM the MRU because it's the MRU that's funding the project. What is happening here, my people? What is going on? Right? I thought this is supposed to be a responsible government.
Our partners in other countries definitely are contributing, but they will contribute. So you ought to see, it's far and wide so people can see what's happening here and showing. This is a classic decentralization of facilities. So you can see here, the three countries are right close here. Guinea, Sierra Leone, and Liberia is here.
Okay, this is it. It's getting quite interesting. It's getting quite interesting. And this is Anthony V. Kesari. Anthony V. Kesari is a bossman lie. Why a bossman said that the project belonged to the MRU is a blatant lie. But before Anthony V. Kesari went there, and when the president said he had no knowledge about this project, it has been proven that it was a terrible lie. The president had initially visited when the site clearing and when they did the fencing and all of that. There's a young man who says he is the son of the president. He went there, he did a video shoot, and it's right here. Listen to this. Listen to this, folks.
Betrayed his conscience, he has betrayed his supporter, he has betrayed the country just for personal greed. Folks, Bwaka Fallow is the biggest thief ever we have recorded in the history of Liberia. Shame on you, oh man. Shame on you. Folks, you listen to the man or kid who looked at somebody who cannot eat on time, explaining initially what the project was for. But today, it's being referred to as the Mano River Union Peace Center. Folks, Joseph Boakai is the biggest thief we have recorded in the history of Liberia. You can see Joe Boakai.
Okay.
See Joe Boakai.
This is not the actual clip that I want to play, but that is okay. My guy is sending it right here quickly. So I want you to listen, right? So they cheat the goalposts in the middle of the game. This is dishonesty. This is absolutely unacceptable. You can't have a president that came on the back of integrity, honesty, and truth-telling. You can't have that president, right, come here, says one thing, and then the reality proves the other. Have you seen it? Right? And then the reality proves another. Here is it. Listen to this.
The property in Fuya started. Boakai and his criminals have denied the property.
Right? So, but basically, JMBSO had gone there, and when he went there, doing the initial site clearing and of course fencing of the land, excited about the idea and all of that, went there and declared to all of us that, look, you see the president and the president of developmental ASIO, you see the men feeling clear 9 acres of land, the men coming big headable villa here, that presidential villa here, that here the president will be, the president will move on, more you can, you say now. This is what the narratives were until accountability questions begin to come from corners, and then the government has somersaulted and they're trying to lay it on the MRU, and the president has gone there to salvage his dilapidated reputation and say that, look, this is an MRU project, right, funded by the MRU, and this is money coming from Ivory Coast, Guinea, and Sierra Leone. That's how the Kisi people can pronounce Sierra Leone. Right? So this is what you have. And his deputy minister for public affairs says, no, what the president said is a blatant lie. Right? And the government of Liberia had initially said that no, it is not an MRU project. So who should we listen to? When you have this, things like this happening in the government, what does it signal to you? And like I was telling my good friend, this attempt to always scapegoat the failures of the government by trying to draw in the CDC, it's not going to help. Or this concerted attempt to be attacking critical voices, and of course attacking them and sending people after critical voices are not going to help. These are intimidation strategies that are lazy, weak, and they're not going to yield any fruit. And this is important for the government to understand that, look, we're sufficiently conscious and we're prepared and committed to the truth, and we'll keep holding your feet to the fire until you deliver. Mr. President, you are proving to be a liar. And we're not going to sugarcoat that. There is no way to put it, right? On this singular project, this is embarrassing. This is absolutely embarrassing. For your personal pleasure, you take over about $10 million and invest it in the butch, and now you are running around and lying on other government. You know what this has done to the SLPP administration in Sierra Leone? The APC folks, the SLPP will be going to election. The Sierra Leone will be going to election sometime, I think, in 2028 or thereabout. So now this has brought a whole situation, because in Sierra Leone, the laws are that for the government to spend or contribute to endeavors like these, it has to consult with the legislature. And you understand? So with what's coming from Monrovia, it is clear to the APC. That means the SLPP entered the Sierra Leone budget, took money from there, and started financing projects in Liberia without the acquiescence of the Sierra Leone parliament. And the opposition folks are beating on the ruling party in Sierra Leone, and then you sit down here and be lying on other people president. After you finish stealing take responsibility for your stealing and give proper accountability and answer the questions, the procurement questions, answer the questions about the legislature. How do you spend over $10 million? Your official communication says $6 million, right? And your PR man, Philibert, says $5 million. And this is the most funny part of it all. And then Hagar will come in quickly. Then we move to the phone lines. By the way, Hagar has just joined. And so this thing that they're having at Bolivar, right? At Bolivar, a ministerial complex, has been giving him some problem lately. So this is what Philibert Brown wrote, right? Philibert S. Brown wrote. He says, digging deeper into the Foya Mano River Union project, right? It's very lengthy. So, Iga, good morning, welcome.
Good morning, Abu. Good morning to you and good morning to the audience. It's becoming so terrible for us from the Sinkhole Inn, and I think I will have to reroute when it comes to coming here. I don't know, but I don't know. Yeah, so I don't know how is it like.
No, but we never have problem with this.
Yeah, so that's why I think I have to say.
But your distance is longer this way.
Yeah, it's longer.
But it's better that you pass this way.
Yeah, it's become better that I pass the Freeport Inn instead of the Sinkhole Inn because the traffic, I would imagine, sometimes from the health ministry, we far down to 540, so it's becoming more and more tedious. But we will get adjusted very soon, and that's why
you have to go sooner than
yes. And the most complicating thing now in this whole thing is the early morning rain. So when you are supposed to get out, the rain is there. Yeah. So when you are supposed to get out, the rain is there preventing you from coming out, and then time will catch up with you in traffic and all of that. But it's okay. We'll get adjusted just very soon. Okay. But it's good that we are here this morning. I listened to the line of conversation while en route here, and thank you for the job. And yes, just too many things, like you said.
Yeah, so we'll pick up from right here.
Yeah, just
and
from
then because we're digging, we're way down almost to the I don't know how the miners can call it, the pit or what thing. But yeah, so digging deeper into the Foya Mano River Union project. Look at those. And a journalist who said he did investigation calls this a Foya Mano River. Have you confirmed with the Mano River Union? As a journalist, this is a man who said he did independent investigation. This is a disgrace, and somebody should tell Philibert Brown to listen, right? And we're not going to be here trying to say, oh, they're veteran. We're not a veteran. These people here, but this is it. An investigative report ending the longest political speculation in Liberia's history. This is nonsense. I mean, to be saying it's ending. So who are you to end the conversation? Who told you? You say your own. You've been paid by the Ministry of Information and other people in the government to say nonsense because you want to complete your school and all of that. You think we're not aware, but anyway, we'll hold that for later. According to Mr. Brown, the self-proclaimed and, of course, validator of everything in the country, President Joseph Newman Boakai speaking to his ministers of state, the late Sylvester Grisby, May 2024, said in passing, the way the Mano River Union Basin is in chaos, I wish I could convene a meeting of heads of state so that we discuss the security situation in the union. But if it is possible, where will we have such a meeting? Because I do not want to go to Sanikole. This is a quote, according to Philibert Brown, that he got from his investigation. What is the source of this quote? What did he get this quote from? Was it from a meeting meaning, or a recording, right? Or from a third party? Who is Philibert Brown quoting here? What is it? You just write something and you put quotation mark there. You say, "Oh, that what the president said in passing." At what occasion did the president say that? What brought about the whole issue about Mano River and conflict resolution and blah blah blah? Mano River have got Medium, and Mackenzie Monroe have got offices where mediation talks are held.
But even the very quotation is even indicting the president even more than exonerating.
Exactly, because
let's listen. Why would the president say he don't want to go to
Sanikole? And he wants
there have been international meetings that have been held in Sanikole.
You know what goes there? You can hold it
in Monrovia, even Bon County.
So why don't you want to go to Sanikole?
But Abu, this thing.
That one for Nima people.
Yes.
After making you president, and today, the president said he don't want to go to
Sanikole. So now Sanikole have become terrible to the president. That the president feel insecure to go to Sanikole for a regional meeting, even though meetings have been held. Bwaka have campaigned in Sanikole. That's why this is just proving what Bwaka has done over the time. That's why since Bwaka became president, he had not felt comfortable going to Nimba to stay for even a day or two. He will always pass through. So Nimba, this negative mindset that the government and the president have about Nimba is that we can't trust these people. So because of that, Bwaka don't want to take age. So let's listen to what Philibert said in this. That's what Bwaka said, according to Philibert. That's what Bwaka said to his minister.
We know why he said.
We don't want to.
We know how he got it.
I don't want to go to Sanikole. Why he did not say so?
This is anyway. I'll tell you what this is. This does not even qualify as any kind of sound academic paper. This is not how people write. Say, thinking out loud, Mr. President also wanted to invest or to invite all very powerful friends in Asia. Yesterday, I told you, and we all witnessed the position of Liberia down there. And we've been telling you that these people have been dealing with people in...
And they write out before yesterday's message.
So if what Philibert says is true, even though it's co-opted, right, to suit something, but yet still exposes even more, right, it's also validating the argument on the other end that the government is shifting diplomatically towards communism and socialism. They're drifting away from American democracy. That's what he said. Because for the president to say he wants to have meeting with all the powerful people in Asia, I don't know what pedigree he has to summon the powerful people in Asia. What pedigree does Bwaka have to summon the powerful people in Asia? You beggar, a new beggar, passing around begging. Small children all did mobile money for you to survive here, and you can't sit down. But this is a terrible dress-up lie. Name withheld for security reasons, according to Philibert, to attend the Mana River Union Countries meeting if seen was possible. Because mind you, right, this is, I don't know. So furthermore, Minister Grace Bay listened to his boss wondering aloud. The man wondering. So Philibert said, hey, you know, when you just thinking in your head and wondering what you can do and something. So Philibert said, Minister Grace Bay was listening to the teleman thinking in your head. You were listening to the man thinking out aloud. So he started formulating as soon the man get here, make listening people here. So the man listening inside Bwaka here, and he knew Bwaka was thinking about having meeting with the powerful people there from Asia and other places. So Grace Bay said, good, I must support him on. I've heard all the things the man thinking about, know what the man. So he started planning, formulating an immediate plan of action behind President Bwaka. According to Philibert, he said investigation. So they may decide now to formulate this plan behind President Bwaka. This man who was seen everywhere Bwaka was, at his home, meeting, to the office, around the country, anywhere you see Bwaka, or they men were planning the kind of gigantic project, according to Philibert Brown, behind Mr. Bwaka. After hearing inside the man here what the men were thinking. So now, the next day, according to Philibert, he's not stating time, he's not stating date, he's just speaking, randomly.
Speaking to convince the audience.
Open-endedly, right? Nothing. So the next day, according to Philibert, we even know the day. he invited the president's nephew, right? So Grisby invited the president's nephew, architect Joe Moba, the recipient of the highest honor in the Republic. Minister Grisby secretly revealed the president's desire and requested desire. I want you to define desire, right? Desire, right? How do you get to know people desire? Desire something. Desires have to be expressed. So how did Grisby manage to know what President Boubacar desire was, that he had to organize a plan and call somebody and tell them, this is the desire of the president. What is it?
To want to or to wish to.
So this is what the president want to do. So when Grisby, according to Philibert, when Grisby invited Moba, he told the president's nephew, this is what the president want to do. That was the president's desire. This is Philibert, the government's investigative campaign. This is what the president want to do. So work on it. You, the chief engineer, award-winning engineer, national honor recipient, highest honor recipient, go and work on your uncle's desire. This is what he wants. Mr. Grisby secretly revealed the president's desire and requested Joe Moba to again join the conspiracy and to come up with workable architectural drawings and plan. The history of Minister Grisby and Joe Moba partnership and working relationship goes very deep. This is a blatant lie. Sources have confirmed to us that Joe Moba and Grisby had no deep friendship. The person who has deep connection and relationship with Joe Moba is the president. Grisby and Joe Moba only got to know each other when Boubacar became president, and they had to work together because he's the president's nephew and has been doing projects and things for the president. So he was shown to Grisby as the man to work with, and that's how Grisby used him to develop and upgrade the president home in rehab and other presidential facility. Joe Moba and his company has been the one doing it. So what is the deep relationship? From where? From school? From where? From university? From the church? From where? How? Well, what kind of embarrassment is this? And this man calls himself a veteran journalist, right? Lying around here and laying claims about some kinds of expertise, and then just conniving and doing all kinds of PR for companies and Lebanese and Indians that are stealing from the country to enrich oneself and then be passing around, I'm a big journalist, I'm a big journalist. Nonsense. You can't do this to your country and you expect us to sit down and say, oh, so they have conspired against President Boubacar. This is nonsense and childish. But he says so. You see, the president, minister, COS that he met every day, his best friend, conspire against him to do this. No, against his will or against his own good.
So, Abu, let's set this straight. This is the very same Philibert Brown that led the Unity Party campaign against the former regime by announcing that there was 16 billion that went missing even before Weah was sworn in as president.
I'll come to that. I just want us to just hammer some of these things that he's saying. And I want you to get the Mika statement on the project, that official government statement. The SOE has begun secretly, I'm fast forwarding, begun secretly. So during the meeting, let me go back a little bit. During the meeting to secretly review the content of the architectural drawing and a fixed cost, the purchase of the land and the construction of the Mano River Union Center cost a little over US 5.5 million. The president said it wasn't the government. The president said it was Mano River that was funding it. But Philibert, who did independent, said no, they did the costing. They went, they verified, they approved, right? He did not call the names of the people who were there in this meeting, or just say in the meeting, right? And who is supposed to approve it? When you sell somebody desire and you brought a picture, so who is supposed to say, okay, yeah, this is actually what I want. This is what I'm thinking in my head. So who gave that approval? Grisby or the president? Okay, I think we are fools in this country. Started to use shadow diplomacy in selling the ideas. Grisby, according to this man, started to use shadow diplomacy in selling the ideas. The idea to heads of state-owned enterprises. This is saying that state-owned enterprises could now have to siphon public funds, public resources, and misdirected them individually and collectively. The SOE has begun to secretly support the President Mano River Union project unknown to him. The project consists of 5 presidential villas. Imagine 5 presidential villas. When in the Mano River Union, there are only 4 heads of states. But the project, according to Philibert, had 5 presidential villas. 5 presidential villa. Let me see. The project consists of 5 presidential villas with 3 bedrooms each, an equipped presidential office, a modernized kitchen. Each presidential villa consists of 2 extra buildings to host the invited president's office staff and security details. So each of the 5 presidential villas has separate 2 units, right, for the staff and the security. Then furthermore, in total, there are 5 villas, 5 security buildings, and 5 buildings for presidential staff. After the death of Mr. Grisby, the support to the project began to stall, with SOEs not remitting their respective contributions as planned. A little over 60 containers were stalled in Turkish port due to lack of funds. Fundamentally, their SOEs have lived up to their responsibility, and the project is nearing completion. See, when Grisby died, then they continue just between when Grisby died, and smart people got to follow the trend of the project development. This is why Philibert refused to put date to these things. Because when you do investigation, you ask for date, you ask for time, you ask for event, and you record event against time. So this man is saying these things are happening in oblivion. No personality attached, no date, no time, but the thing, this is just a fictional as a piece. It does not even qualify as a structural one, right? So take away. FOIA project is, according to him, 5.5 million. The man say that 5.5 million. Government say that 6.1, right? 6.1 or 6.2 million. The president of the Republic of Liberia, Bouaka, knew absolutely nothing about the project. It was done behind his back to surprise him. Who now? The government or MRU? Because the president said that MRU. So are you saying the MRU was the one that did the project to surprise the president, or that the SOEs, or that Grisby who died? So when Grisby died and said the president didn't know about it, why did you continue on the project? The president did not know about it. 3, FOIA project was initiated by the late Mr. Grisby, secretly recruited Mr. Joe Moba to help him with his plan. The FOIA project consists of 15 buildings, 5 presidential villas, 5 staff quarters, and 5 security quarters. This description is different from what the government official statement described the project to look like. But however, this is what we have. The FOIA project is a 100% Liberian-owned project, not a penny contribution from the Mano River Union countries. So Philibert himself said the president told a lie when he appeared on the ELBC and said that the project was being sponsored by the Mano River Union. I'm going to play that clip one more time. I'm going to play that clip one more time. So what kind of government are we having here? What kind of president are we having? The man who went to do the independent investigation says the president lied.
So they want to make sure that's the project that you go there, there's nothing there in money.
So who's doing it? So who's doing that project? Is it funded by Liberia exclusively?
It's going to be funded under the Mano Rivers. That means Guinea.
Philibert says it's a blatant lie. It's been funded by the government of Liberia. Fellow Liberians, hey guys, let's take 3 calls or 4 very quickly while I try to connect Kanye Bagbala right here on the show.
Let's speak few calls on this topic. 0776 104104 86 500 104. The WhatsApp line is as well active and it's on +231 886 500 104 0776 104. Let's talk to this person. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Go ahead, you're live.
Good morning to Abu. This is Washington Soup. I come from Israel.
Okay.
You see, for the president to any come up as president of the country, somebody who is a very good trust, they keep the country too. Not a major project during the country. That alone, he's really qualified to be president for the country. But the whole thing, they just don't want to agree that and the students are very good to be for Baka. Nobody say, look at once the who is the president, you can see in writing there, who will believe that one? Who will believe it? Don't get the same thing for the information, but you already know that is Baka project. If you try to tell what the man running, there's no problem.
Okay. Let's talk to another person. Morning. 0776 104 104 86 500 104. Because of time, we can just cross over now to
well, because of time, we're quite sorry, folks. Like we told you, this morning we have the honor to speak with Councillor Kanu Gbagbala, who's joining us from way there out of the country this morning to be our prime guest to talk about issues of critical national concerns and all of that, his own personal role in some issues, and of course the launch of a new movement that he has, the Centrism Movement of Liberia. What is the Centrism Movement, plus other issues pertinent to national growth and development right here on the big station Freedom 87.9. My name is Abu Sharif, and of course Hagar Gona is here together. We are going to be here straight up to 10 o'clock right here. Let me now join Councillor Gbala. Councillor Gbala, good morning and welcome to Freedom FM. It's good to have you. Happy New Year.
Well, many happy returns, Abu. Also, happy New Year, Haga. Let me say thank you for the great work that you people do in advancing our democracy. As you all may know, an effective opposition is the heartbeat of the democratic process. So I think you guys are doing an excellent job of keeping the government accountable to the people, which is a good thing. I'm no stranger to Freedom FM. You know, I've been there a couple of times. You are all my guys. And I think in the beauty of democracy, it's always good to engage, even if there are different perspectives. So I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to participate. When I was sharing with a few of my guys that I was joining you, and somebody was saying, oh, you know, why are you going to Freedom FM now? You know, your position is that you support President Boakai, and it's going to be designed to embarrass and humiliate you. And I just simply told them, I said, look, I'm a man of conviction. I'm never humiliated when I espouse my conviction. And I'm pretty much sure that whatever is put on the table, we can adequately justify why we've taken certain positions. So, but it's good to be here, Abu and Haga, and I'm happy to have this conversation. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And trust me, like I told you from backstage, this is an interview, and we can assure you that we have a duty to the sanctity of this conversation, and this is not a debate. You have the right to your position. That's what we enjoy in democracy. And so these are all perception and opinions. It's okay. We can make do with that. But it's good to have you. And how's life? How's everything so far, personally?
Well, life is very good. I'm taking it one day at a time. As you may know, I'm not a professional politician. I'm a professional who has dabbled in politics. I'm a lawyer by profession. So you may know also, I served the CDC government for 3 years. In 2023, I resigned and joined the campaign. We didn't win the election, so I've gone back into private practice. I manage my firm. I have other businesses that I'm engaged in, and I teach full-time at the law school at the University of Liberia. And life is progressing quite nicely. Also, we have this new endeavor, which we will talk about. So yes, I think it's a good time to be alive and to contribute to our country.
Two things you said quickly, that you're not a regular politician, one, and then that you resigned from the CDC government. I need you to expand on that. Did you resign from the CDC government?
Oh, I did resign my position. On the first part, when I say I'm not a professional politician, I mean that politics is part of governance. And as a lawyer, as somebody who is a member of the Congress for Democratic Change, I'm a political animal by nature, and from time to time, I share my views on things that concern how our country is evolving, governance, and otherwise. And I think, in a way, given the role that I've played before in government, in the campaign, that makes me a politician, even though I would rather not be referred to as a politician. But I'm not a professional politician, which means it's not my daily activity, right? I'm a professional. I run a firm. I execute.
Since when it stopped being your daily activities? Because ever since we've known you, you've always been around politics, and politicians are basically a person who gets involved in politics, often seeking or holding public office. And this, you have qualified. You've held public office. You have also contested or participated in election for elected office. So how then do you come to the fray and say you are not a professional politician?
Well, like I was trying to explain, if you look at, I take your definition, for example, and all of these definitions are not exactly pat. You know what I mean? It's not a one size fit all. But if I take your definition,
but they are standard definitions.
Public office, right? In my whole professional life, which is almost pushing close to 20 years now, I've only held public office for 3 years out of those 20 years of my professional life, right? And outside of that, I've been in the private sector. I've worked for myself, I've taught, I've worked for international organizations. So if you take 3 years out of close to 20 years of professional work, I think you can see the majority was spent outside of government. So again, I don't see myself as a professional politician.
Are you defining politician by being in government exclusively?
Well, I just don't see myself as a professional politician. I see myself as a professional who engages in politics. And for me, that is key. Because when you see yourself as a professional politician, then it engenders this mindset of winner takes all, I must win at all costs. I can't change a position because everything I do is dependent on politics. No, for me, I'm a professional. There are multiple things I do outside of politics, but I do have the leverage, and I'm blessed to be able to have a platform at least to offer views around governance within politics. So it's important to put that.
From student days, this very Kanye who is saying he's not a politician, contested to be president.
A professional politician.
Contested to be president of his high school cathedral, right?
Professional politician.
And left from there and entered international politics, have made several shots at the legislative seat in district number 3, and have been involved heavily with national political party movements, the Liberty Party, the CDC, the Liberty Party, and today he says he's not a professional politician. So we leave that with the public to judge. Councillor Gbala, I want us to go deep into why we invited you to begin with.
The other aspect that they didn't respond to, I don't want it to link.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
Right?
Yeah, I was actually interested in whether you resign. I know when the election came, you had to take some time off because you're getting involved with politics and playing some roles, but whether that was equal to resignation, and if you have copies of your resignation letter from the CDC government.
Absolutely. Look, I'm a very organized guy, and I do things in a very organized fashion. All right. I resigned from the LACC, I believe is in June. I can share a copy. My letter was received by then Minister of State, what's his name, Wisak, who was the former representative, I think, from Grand Coup County. He became Minister of State upon the exiting of Honorable Nathaniel McGill. He responded to my letter accepting my resignation before I went on to become spokesperson of the campaign. So I did resign from the LACC, and that is on the record.
When exactly you resigned from the LACC?
Well, I can find the letter and I will share with you, and I will try to.
Yeah, we want to know the date, and we also want to know when the last time you received pay from the LACC.
Effective date of my resignation, of course, when you communicate with the Minister of State, a CC copy goes to the Ministry of Finance, and you are removed from the payroll. And effective that date of my resignation, I start receiving salary from the LACC.
Okay, that's why it's important.
Okay, and this is why I say my witness behind God back. Honorable Wisa is here. He's alive. He received that letter. He responded. I can check my files. I have a copy of his response, I believe, somewhere. I also have a copy of my own resignation letter. And I served 3 years in the CDC government. I resigned before I joined the campaign.
Okay, and when you resigned, you became very active in the 2023 election. And of course, we like to look back on that, playing the role as the campaign spokesman for the ruling party then, Mr. President, with the sole responsibility to communicate the deliverables of the president and have electorates to accept the president's to extend his mandate by another 6 years, which was not successful. But when you look back, what do you say about the role you play and the contribution you made to the CDC campaign and her re-election chances?
Well, thank you. When I look back, I think I congratulate myself because I gave it my all. I was extremely selfless in the execution of my duties as campaign spokesperson, and people who know me know that I'm a very convicted guy. When I take a position, I go all out 150% to execute that position. And so in my role as campaign spokesperson, I was very diligent. Multiple times, Abu, you can bear me testament. I was on your platform. When it wasn't with you, it was with KOK. Not even when the campaign had started, but prior to the campaign. Okay. I came on that platform several times prior to the campaign, articulating why it was important for us, the CDC, to highlight what President Weah had achieved and to avoid what I call gutter politics. Because at the time, the people would elect you based on your achievements. And instead of responding to all of the other stuff, let's highlight that. I was on your platform. I did that to 80% or 90% of the radio stations within Monserrado without receiving a dime by that time, before the start of the campaign.
You were working for your party. You were working for your party.
Exactly. So I'm just telling you the level of conviction.
There were campaign funds. Were there not campaign funds?
Abu, now let me tell you today, give up people.
Go ahead.
Yeah, because so I did that. Then I was referred to become chairperson of the, a spokesperson of the campaign, which again I began to execute very systematically. KOK is there. When we assume that role, sometimes I love to tell people I'm a society man, so I don't talk secrets unless I challenge in a way that is intended to embarrass me. Then I
the question has been, did you do an effective job? Did you do an effective job? Did you adequately communicate?
I'm about to answer this question if I don't get a chance to speak.
Go ahead. No, I'm just following up.
Yeah, so I'm addressing that. Before even coming to the campaign, I'm telling you what I did in my personal capacity. Post that, when I became spokesperson of the campaign, and KOK will bear me witness. If we put all of the politics and propaganda aside, we assumed that role. 2 weeks into the campaign, financing was not visible. I remember KOK, I had conversations. I convened meetings where he attended. I think you may have attended that meeting as well, questioning why there wasn't resources to finance the campaign. And Abu, you are aware. But that did not stop us from doing our job. Don't just smile, you were aware. That did not stop
I did not attend that meeting with you. I'm sorry. No.
KOK attended that meeting, right? That I convened with Honorable Eugene Nambe and others, because I was under immense pressure as spokesperson and head of media to ensure that certain things were in place that were not in place 3 weeks into the campaign. But did I come outside to complain or say,
was that why you didn't do a good job?
I did an excellent job, my brother. And I can say, most of the people who sit, and I can say this very clearly.
How did you do a good job? Well, as a spokesman of the campaign, you were only seen around and behind the president. You weren't making any personal moves around the county and taking the message to the people. Rather, we always saw you in the convoy with the president.
Look, I was never in a convoy with the president. I always traveled where the president went, but I was never in the presidential convoy. Those who will tell you when they were on the campaign trail will tell you that even where the president stayed, I was never there. I always made my own arrangement because why? When I get into a town or a county, I take the responsibility to engage with the media and to propagate why I believe in that county the CDC was supposed to be elected.
Did you do that? Did you do that as a spokesman of the campaign by yourself?
Exactly. In my capacity as spokesperson, I had a whole team that even to take along Abu was a struggle. We went to Basel. Members of that team today, if they come up now and they regale you with the stories, even getting to Basel was a problem. But that's not the point. The point is, with the circumstances presented, with the resources that were available, we did an excellent job. We went to at least 10 counties out of the 15, spreading the message of President Weah and spreading the message of what the CDC was able to achieve. Because I believe that the CDC achieved some very good things, and we propagated that. All right. So I exercised my role very diligently, with conviction to the letter.
Did you believe in the messages that you were disseminating? Were you convinced that you were saying the truth and there were truth in these things and Liberians needed to buy into it? Were you confident about, because as a PR person, you have to be confident about the messaging?
I was very confident about the message, and I know where this is going. I'll very clarify very quickly. I don't believe any government scores 100%, especially within our African Liberian context. You do some good things, and there are areas where you lack. When you go into an electoral campaign, as my role as spokesperson is to offer an explanation for our challenges, and not to excuse our challenges, but to offer an explanation for our challenges and highlight what we were able to achieve. And I did that effectively. All right. So it doesn't mean that those challenges did not exist. It doesn't mean that there were areas where, as a government, we did not fumble. We did not make some, minuses. There were. But my role, it was to reassure the Liberian people that in spite and despite those areas where we fumbled and the challenges we have, we also did some very good things for which you should give us the opportunity to lead again and to correct them and to improve upon them. And I did that very well.
So two last one, and I'll come to Hagar, and then we'll move to another part of the interview. When you serve as spokesman of the CDC campaign in 2023, did you believe that Kennedy George Emmanuel Weah was a better person to continue with Liberia and Grendy there to Kennedy Boakai?
I thought so. I believe so at the time. If I did not believe so, Abu, I would not have accepted to be campaign spokesperson. If I did not believe so, I would not have given a level of conviction. Look, a lot of people were on the campaign. Most of them sat in Monrovia. They went nowhere. And I could have equally decided as campaign spokesperson to just sit in Monrovia. And nobody would have asked me any questions, especially given the level of lethargy that plagued our campaign in the first 2 months. Nobody would have asked me and held me accountable. I could have sat in Monrovia and just passed around. I did not do so. Instead, I got on the road. Whatever meager resources we have, we deployed it, going from county to county, renting vehicles to get people there so that we were in a position to give the optimum message. If I did not believe that the Liberian people should have given President Weah another opportunity, I would not have done so. The only thing I will tell you is maybe where some of us made a mistake, and that mistake did not happen in the campaign. That mistake was something we did early on. From 2020 or even 2019, we should have been very clear with President Weah and those in leadership about some of the issues that we felt were uncomfortable for the movement. I think we did not challenge the governance system properly. We could have done so. I should have done so. Others should have done so. But instead,
we'll talk about that kind of follow up. Do you believe?
And we didn't do so. But again, let me tell you something. When you are a part of a party and a system, Internally, you recognize what all of the deficits are, right? Like you in the army, you recognize the deficits. But when the battle clarion sounds and you are prepared to go to war, everybody put those issues down and you suit up and you take on your armor and you go to war. And we went to battle for the city.
Based on your belief that President Weah will have done better with the country versus his rival then in the election, do you think, as of now, that given the opportunity, Kennedy Weah, who have done pretty much better with Liberia today than what is happening now?
Well, again, it's all hypothetical. I now see what President Boyka is doing. I now see how he's doing it differently. I'm not seeing the results nationally. And as a rational human being,
I mean, resting on your belief from the campaign.
Yeah, but you asking me my belief 2 years ago. I'm giving you what is happening now. If you allow me to just respond to your question, we'll get somewhere.
Go ahead.
I'm saying, as at that time, that's what I believe. That was my conviction. That's why I accepted to be campaign spokesperson. Otherwise, I wouldn't have done so. All right? The elections ended. The Liberian people decided that despite the fact that some of us voted twice for President Weah, the Liberian people decided that no, you're not the right person now. Let's bring President Boyka. And President Boyka has been president. And he's doing a lot of good things. We don't get into politics just because we want to win. We get into politics because we want the best person to lead, to take the country forward. It could be President Weah, it can be President Boyka, it can be Cummings. Now, it happens to be President Boyka. So because I didn't win, I should not recognize what is working well about the country. Is that
that is not a question, actually. That's not a question. The question is, given the opportunity, who have been better as the president of the country today than what Boyka is doing? That was the question.
But the question is, 40 in and of itself, Abu. How will we know when President Weah is not president? How can we compare?
You campaigned and was convincing Liberians to prefer President Weah. So,
but that was then. If you want to compare, you need to have two sets.
No, but you saw his agenda. You led his agenda. You saw the vision he had, and that's what you were talking to Liberians about. So, are you telling us that you were campaigning from the blue? You had nothing. You had no blueprint.
Your own appearances now, Abu.
No. I'm asking you because that's the insinuation.
That is not what I am telling you. I am telling you that President Weah is not president now. What is the frame of reference to compare? You say can I?
So
what's the frame of reference?
Okay.
Yeah, look at what President Boyka is doing now. Yes.
Okay. So during the CDC administration and during the 2023 elections, many of those Liberians who voted against the former party, the former regime, they did so because they felt disenchanted with how government officials around President Weah were performing. And you were a part of the team. You had the opportunity to serve at an institution of government. What did you do at that very institution? Just a couple of days ago, there were some young people live on Facebook accusing you of not paying attention to them after they've made you. So in your capacity at the LACC, what did you do to encourage young Liberians to follow the CDC?
Well, thank you very much. The first thing I need to clarify is that the LACC is an apolitical institution. It's not a political institution. Anybody who goes to the LACC, including my good self, should not be involved with political organizing or using the entity for political goals. Your role there, how you support the government, is to ensure that probity, that the question of accountability, prevention of corruption, and ensuring that government functions optimally. That's how you support the government.
How well did you do that? How well did you do that?
Well, you asked me if I want to clarify what he said. You do that by helping the government. Let me tell you some of the things I did. Currently, the LACC enjoys a bilateral agreement with Sierra Leone around collaboration for anti-corruption transparency efforts. I initiated that partnership with Ben Kafala. We went to Sierra Leone, we signed a memorandum of agreement, and we have Ben Kafala come here. Now we have exchange of personnel from the LACC and the ACC in Sierra Leone. I initiated that.
You did.
You asked me what did I do? I'm telling you what I did. That's one of the things that I did. Regional collaboration. Number two, when I arrived at the LSCC, we have pretty much dried up all our donor projects. I initiated, now we have a current project with UNDP around using technology to map areas of corruption and report corruption across the country. I personally wrote that project and engaged with the UNDP to secure the funding at the LSCC. I initiated 5 different corruption risk assessment for government entities within the country at the time when I served as acting chairperson of the LSCC. I presided over the submission of the restated LSCC Act, the Whistleblower Act, amongst other things. I presented to the PhD, Senator Emmanuel Nukwe was there, chairperson, and I presented to the subcommittee. Those laws were passed and now have become.
We are project.
You asked me to tell you what I did. I'm telling you what I did. So
we're working in time. We're working in time. You've listed a few. I'm going to say, is it safe to say that those are we are projects?
Presented to Parliament, and now we have a Whistleblower Act. Now we have a restated LSCC Act that attends to asset declaration. I led those particular processes within the anti-corruption framework because, like I said, LSCC is not a political organization. You do not do political organizing when you are a commissioner of the LSCC. Now, there's other hearsay evidence about people on Facebook saying, you know, they made me, amongst other things. Look, this is all politics.
You're talking to your constituents on district number 3, can you?
It's important. Let me respond. I have decided to support President Bawkai. I have decided to be complimentary about development in our country. Irrespective of me being a seditious, I believe it is a patriotic duty to commend the government when the government does what is right. And because I have chosen to do so, apparently I have committed a grievous crime to most of these people who feel that I should be in opposition more and be criticizing the government every day. Those things you see on Facebook are derivative efforts of those. We understand those people to malign your character because you are pro-government.
According to you, you did a beautiful job as spokesman of the CDC campaign, even though the messages.
Are you comfortable with my answer?
One. Yeah, no problem. One stand-out movement where you engage in public engagement, debate about the issues during the heat of the campaign, which many of your critics believe was the movement that actually broke, scratched the camel's back, was when you sat in a panel conversation with the likes of Muraja Yakula, Abdullah Kyatamba to defend the records of the government you believe and the president you were supporting and campaigning for. And Kyatamba said these words. Let me play it so that you hear. Yeah, I want to ask you a specific question.
It's simple. Now look at GMB, for example. Nima, GMB, the distributor to Nima. Was that, and I don't know what many use. What I said was that this has happened before, but under these conditions it's impossible. You can say, look, Barcelona won a game last year, but with this new team it is difficult. How is there a contradiction? I think you have not understood what contradiction is. And that is a basic understanding you must achieve to have the kind of discussions. Your chronic disability incomprehension, I'm not responsible for that. You understand what I'm saying? So what I'm trying to hear is simple.
Okay, because this was the interview where Kyatamba said publicly that the man responsible to communicate for the government's re-election had was allergic to facts, clearly signaling to the public that your narrative during the campaign were lacking facts, and we did not see you put up a strong defense. Don't you think this undermined your entire effort, and you did not put up a strong reaction?
Absolutely not. Now, it's important to understand the context in which I was operating, and that's me. Look, I don't divert or avoid areas that I believe may be counterproductive to my cause simply because of that. I went to OKFM. At the time, you are aware as a media person that OKFM had an editorial policy to some extent that seemed to be anti-government and anti-CDC. Yet I went and I sat with Clarence Jackson. Everybody in that room whether it was Katamba or my dear brother Amos Twe or Moriah Yakula, were all gunning from the cities. So I was proverbially thrown into the lion's den. But yet I went there. And there's a point to take away from that. You don't avoid going into spaces where you feel that the majority may be against your cause, because at the end of the day, you have a responsibility to communicate government gains, which I did at the time excellently. Now let's come to Katamba's claim, all right, about, you know, fake data, etc. Everything I say, I provide data to back it. But this is the same Katamba who declared President Weah unfit to lead the country. Do you agree with him at the time when he said President Weah was unfit to lead the country?
No, we're talking about you as a spokesman of the president. You sit there and a panelist says that you are allergic to facts, that your informations are misleading the public, and you did not put up a strong defense.
No, you are making that conclusion that I did not put up a strong defense, but I did put up a very effective defense, because in my premise in our conversation, I cited all of the instances. For example, when we were talking about healthcare, I cited for the first time the Emirates Hospital. Is that not a fact? Does the Emirates Hospital not exist in Bapolu as we speak? Was that not a fact? How can you say that they didn't put up a robust defense? Yeah, there were many instances that are cited around infrastructure. The invisible park. Is the invisible park not a fact that was constructed by President Weah? So how do you succumb to propaganda of that nature, Abu? But this is the same person who said President Weah was unfair to lead. So you believe him also? But the fact remains now, Abu, is that you were interrogating me because I support President Boyka. You were trying to raise the question of my service then because I support President Boyka.
We've not even mentioned
yes, some of the people who criticized me today were clapping for me and saying, yeah, you are dealing with it. But because I support President Boyka today, these people.
So did you deal with President Boyka? Did you deal with President Boyka then Kennedy? Did you deal with President Boyka then Kennedy? Did you deal with him?
When you say deal with him, what do you mean?
I mean, I'm using your word. You said when you were dealing with President Boyka, people were clapping for you. So I'm asking, I want to be sure whether you dealt with him.
No, you see, I do my politics differently, Abu. I'm not one who insults. I'm not one who go for people's character. I'm not one who go after their family. I deal on the facts. And at the time, and I'm on public record, I challenged President Boyka. And I'm happy that he's living up to the challenge that we posed at the time, you know, from the CDC. We said, look, you have 42 years of experience. Bring the results of those years of experience. He is president now. He's using this opportunity to demonstrate what his experience can do for our country. So again, I go back to the fact when I was doing all of these things, the people who are now criticizing my service, calling my expertise into question, whether I was now, you know, with fake data, when I just provided you 2 instances of things that are cited that are incontrovertible and they are grounded in fact, these people were clapping. The only crime I've committed today is to support President Boyka and the government to succeed. That is the crime. And for that crime, it doesn't matter what I say. People will always find ways to call my service or my character or my dedication or my learning into question. And I'm prepared for that because I know it's a political playing field.
His name is Councillor Kanio Bagbala, and of course, he's our guest right here on the Freedom Money Rise. We're talking wide range of critical issues. We've just assessed his time during the CDC's elections, re-election campaign, and all of that it will play. So we are transitioning now to what Kanio has metamorphosed into, which is centrism, and so the transition and all of it. Kanio, take us through this whole new idea. How did you move from being an ardent, committed believer and supporter of the CDC, and of course to being what your critics will consider a man, for the most part, praise-singing the regime?
I like how you describe it, metamorphose, and what my critics call a man of praise-singing. Again, like I said, this is what we call occupational hazard. When you take positions that people don't agree with, they will come for your person, they will label you all kinds of names, and I'm prepared for that. If Martin Luther, was vilified for his 99, 97, I'm getting old these days with my history and facts, thesis, simply raising issues. If Martin Luther King could be assassinated because he preached peace, what about people like us, who all we're saying is let the country move forward, irrespective of who leads. If it's President Boycott, let us move forward. Let us support governance and what is right. That's the only crime I've committed, and I'm prepared to pay the price for the commission of that grievous crime in the eyes of some people. Now,
you are making it seem like a crime.
Your question. I mean, in the eyes of some people, I've committed a grievous crime. You know, I've seen people have insulted me, my mom, my pa, and many other things. But I take that in a stride because I'm not perturbed or disturbed by those kinds of things, right? I'm convicted about the role that I've taken, the position I've taken. And centrism is an embodiment of that position, the centrism movement, all right? Look, this is a fast-growing, people-based movement.
I want you to define what your centrism movement is and what does it stand for.
But that's what I'm explaining to you.
Please
we are of the disposition. In fact, our mantra is the nation before party, development over politics. That is our mantra. We are open to everybody, irrespective of your political association. Seditionists are members of the centrism movement. Unity partisans are members of the centrism movement. ANC people are members of the centrism movement. Liberty partisans are members of the centrism movement. Any Liberian, even people with no positions, are members of the centrism movement. If you look at our steering committee, comprised now of 12 very learned, experienced, independent people. Almost all of us on our steering committee, we don't work for government. We work in the private sector. We do other things. But we're the ones who are the primary decision makers of the movement. And we come from different political backgrounds. Our opinion is that, look, let's work with government around the things that work. Let's offer advice and support on the challenges.
But you as the head of the centrism movement, just continuously said here that you support the president. Doesn't that contradict your position as a centrist?
No, it does not. Centrism does not mean you can. In fact, I just reiterated the point. You support the president when he does good, the good things that are happening. And we made that clear.
Can you support the president again or as opposed to your support of the opposition?
No, but you see, look, we are for the country, and the president leads. So
you said repeatedly that you support the president. And centrism, centrism in politics is about taking a position in between two extremes, right? So if you are leaning with one extreme, how is that equal to being a centrist?
Well, you see, I like the fact that people try to define centrism for we who are the progenitors of the centrism movement. Those are us who evolved the ideology, at least in Liberia, right? And have made it popular within the consciousness of the people and are advancing ideals. It's interesting that other people will define for us.
This is not a new idea. It's not like you've made a discovery. No.
I'm not, Abu, you're not giving me the chance to respond now. I'm becoming.
No, you are, but equally, I'm not allowing you to say what is not correct.
Well, you are becoming an interviewee now, Abu. I can barely.
No, go ahead. But if you say you are the progenitor of centrism, it's a political, ideological philosophy that's new to all.
If I can't speak, how can I communicate my views, Abu?
Go ahead, please.
So, the centrism movement, we're not something that is plastic. We spend time thinking about our approach. I can share with you now the 19 guiding principles of the centrism movement in Liberia. We are very clear.
What does it espouse? Does it espouse a middle position, a middle ground position?
19 guiding principles. Now, centrism does not mean you are lukewarm about everything. That's the mistaken definition of people like you and others.
No. That is not our definition. Our definition is that you should maintain a middle ground position.
Is that you must always be in the middle. For example, how can you be in the middle about rape? How can you be in the middle about corruption? How can you be in the middle of a lack of development? So
we are not talking about specific issues. We're talking about general political positioning between two extremes, the ruling party and the opposition. Where do you stand? You say, I'm not a ruling party, I'm not an opposition, I am a centrist. So you should be in the middle. That's what centrism espouses.
It's a misconception of what centrism is. And I'm attempting to explain to you, and you will not give me the opportunity. Centrism does not mean you are continuously in the middle, that you are lukewarm. And I gave you examples. Nobody can be in the middle on the issue of rape. Whether it is the opposition or the government, rape will be condemned. There is no middle ground for rape. There is no middle ground for corruption. There is no middle ground for lack of development. So as a centrist, I can never assume a middle ground. What centrism is that
You are of neither, but you support what is good and proper. Then you offer advice where is needed on the challenges. What you people want us to do in order to be considered centrist is to lambast and condemn the government consistently, which we have said we will not do. What we will do, if you see our end of year statement, it's on our page now on Facebook, the Liberia Political Centrism Movement. Go and read our end of year statement. It's there. See what we have outlined about the movement of the country. See the advice that we have offered the government about what they can change around transparency, around development, around human rights, around the economy. We offer qualitative critique. That is what centrism is all about. Our statement is there. Go to the record and see what we represent. But don't take your definition, which is a better misconception of centrism by my standards, and impose it on me. That I must be lukewarm all the time. That I can support the government on particular issues clearly. That is not a deviation for centrism.
I see you struggle to defend your centrism. You're trying to reinvent the wheels, because what you're defining here, clearly you and I know, it is not the ideological definition of what centrism is in the realms of politics and government.
I don't know that. And I can cite several instances. Look, I spent time thinking about this thing before we came to this point. Abu, centrism is not...
Can you name me any globally known centrist who is actively aligned with a political party?
No, but you say actively aligned. I said on the issues. We support the president. I'm not...
That's what I say. You're trying to reinvent the wheel. That's not centrism.
I'm a member of the CDC. So
but then how are you a centrist?
If you want to talk about being aligned, I am aligned with the CDC because I'm a member of the CDC.
And you are at the same time aligned with the Unity Party.
However, I support the president on positive stuff. Like I said,
it's a little difficult to defend your centrism because you have too many alliances and connections.
I mean, what's wrong with that?
So can
I support the president? You see, that's the tension that people cannot understand, and that's what I said earlier in the conversation.
It's similar defying logic. It's defying logic.
People like us made right early on, which in hindsight, I believe we should have taken those positions and bear the consequences so that posterity will see we took those positions. And I think that's one of the mistakes we made. We should have started to hold our own people accountable publicly and not to operate within the bureaucracy.
One minute before you talk about human rights, right? The 2025 U.S. Human Rights Report on Liberia highlighted, among many things, arbitrary killings and torture, trafficking in person, prison conditions being overcrowding, poor medical care, and arbitrary detention, and all of that. Freedom of expression being restricted on media freedom, with violence and threats against journalists and critical voices. Corruption, widespread corruption, including law enforcement and justice sectors, hindering human rights enforcement. This is the great sheet about the government you support on human rights, since you're talking about specific issues.
Now, go to our statement, our end of year statement from the centrism.
No, we don't. You're already here. How do we go to your statement? You're already here. How do you address this?
I'm going to cite it. I sent it to you because I wanted to be documented. That is not something I'm just saying on air. I sent it to you. It's in your bags as we speak, and I have it before me. On democratic governance and rule of law, we cite indices. We don't just take or generalizations. We say while rule of law remains resilient in the country, we offer recommendations to the government. What is our recommendation on democratic governance and rule of law? We say strengthen judicial performance by doing what? Expanding access to justice, court automation, reduce pretrial detention, improve coordination between justice and security institutions. That's addressing the challenges that we've seen in the sector. And that's why
you did not talk about trafficking in person. You did not talk about arbitrary killings and torture. You did not speak about that. As a centrist.
What are the priority recommendations addressing? If you say that increase access to justice, if you say reduce pretrial detention, if you say that security institutions must do better in terms of addressing all of these challenges, what is it about?
So you recognize these as challenges, right? You recognize these as challenges in the government from a human rights perspective.
I just sent you the document.
And you, as a centrist, you are boldly aligning with that violations. This is violations of human rights international laws.
Abu, you're trying very hard to try to neutralize our centrist position, you are failing woefully. Because on the paper,
you are failing to defend your centrist position because clearly
is there, documented. This is not something we spend time as a steering committee putting this document together and agreeing that these are priority areas for the government to work on. Nobody should kid you that Liberia is 100%.
And you still proudly, and I'll come back with this again, because you're not addressing yourself to this adequately, and you still proudly, as a quote-unquote centrism movement, you still probably align with administration. 1 minute.
We are the only administration movement in the Republic. We are the only centrism movement in the Republic. We're not quote-unquote.
This is the only centrism movement that's supposed to be in the center mediating between two extremes, but it's only having meeting with government. You're only having meeting with government forces. When the last time you met with the opposition, any member of the opposition, to talk to them about your ideas and how we all can work together? That's what I do. When the last time you're always from one ministry to the other.
I tell you, being a centrist does not mean that I don't have brothers everywhere. I'm a person who I do not allow my personal relationships to be influenced by my political association. So I socialize with everybody. Unity partisans, seditions are all my brothers and sisters. And I meet them off the camera. I meet them publicly, amongst other things. Jeff, Akaros, we talk, we exchange ideas. We differ on the approach and the issues.
Those are informal conversations. We're talking about governance conversation, leadership issues, country issues.
Are you saying that people are not important when it comes to governance? Is that what
you're having informal conversation, personal last conversation with them. I'm talking about on the issues. As a centrist movement, you have here meeting with the vice president, you have here meeting with the president, you have here meeting with the FPRC man, you have here meeting with the Freeport and other people. Why are you not meeting Mr. Cummings as a political party? Why are you not meeting CDC as a political party?
Let me give you an example. And look, we are a movement, we believe in balance. And we will offer the opportunity to everybody to engage with them. However, we will not go and put lava on the ground and compel you to engage with us. When we launched the movement in Monrovia in November of last year, we invited every major opposition actor. I spoke to Jangako, who is chairperson of the CDC, several times. He called me, he said, look, my man, we need to talk. I said, yes. I said, when I'm back in the country, we'll have the conversation. I came to Liberia. I called Janga, we arranged a meeting. Janga did not show up. Janga was invited to our launch. He did not come. I spoke to, how you call the guy? Musa Hassan Belete. We discussed our launch. We met and I and Jonathan Chester together. He said, I will be there. He didn't come. I spoke to Darren Taylor. The same thing. So people should not make it seem that we've made any effort to
probably they do not feel protected in your space. They feel like you are carrying yourself more. 1 minute, can you? They do not feel protected in your space. They feel like you are carrying yourself more like an auxiliary of the government than a centrist.
Because first you say, I'm not engaging with them. When I offer you evidence that I'm engaging with them, then you say they don't feel protected in my space. What if
because that means there's a problem with the way you are carrying yourself. It seems you're carrying yourself more as an auxiliary to the government or the ruling party.
I think what I'm doing is good for the country. But if they elect not to engage, they should not place the burden on me for not engaging. Because I get my opportunity to engage. I reach out to them separately. Let's have a conversation. If they don't engage, if Jangako doesn't want to meet me now because I'm head of the centrist movement, I don't know how he plans to move the party forward. Because you must be able to speak to people who disagree with you. That's what leadership is all about. But if you have people who disagree with you because you feel that by being around them, I don't know, does he feel if he met me, the partisans will remove him? Is that why he's afraid to meet me?
Okay, let's get to this, please. Can you confirm to the audience about this video? Did you have a meeting with the National Lottery Authority, or were you a part of the consolidated strategic planning inputs? The meeting here by the National Lottery Authority on December 12th. Were you a part of that meeting, or this is an AI generated video?
Look, I was on Spoon FM and I confirmed this a long time ago. I run two businesses.
Let's set the tune from there.
Aga, you ask a question. Let me respond, right?
No, just yes or no. Were you a part of this, or is an AI generated?
Question yes or no. I will respond to your question, and I'm the interviewee. You give me a chance to respond. I run 2 businesses, and most other things that I do in Liberia. I have a rule of law firm incorporated under the laws of Liberia, and I have a media and communications organization incorporated under the laws of Liberia. As a qualified Liberian with many years of experience and a professor at law, I consult for government and I consult in the private sector. I have done development work all my life, except for the 3 years that I spent at the LACC working for the CDC government. I was one of 2 consultants that helped to develop the strategic plan for the National Lottery Authority. And I was presenting that plan that we have worked on for a number of weeks at a meeting of senior staff of the National Lottery Authority. I've executed my mandate and I get paid for what I do. If your inference is that because I do qualitative work, then therefore, you know, my credibility is shot, I think it's very faulty. That's not an argument you want to sustain. And I do work for a lot of organizations because I have the capacity to do so. Like I told you, I'm not a professional politician. I'm a professional who is engaged with politics.
No. What it does is raises the question that you formed the centrism movement as a bargaining for these consultancy contracts.
No, centrism does not do consultancy for government. Centrism is a civic political force. All the people that are on the centrism movement are individuals in their own right running businesses. G. Delano Bryant is an engineer. He runs an engineering company. He has ran his company many years before even the centrism movement was formed. All right, Mapu Dalewa runs Ditco on Randall Street, been there forever. She's on our steering committee. She didn't come to the centrism movement to go establish Ditco that has been a major business empire for many years.
Why did James Collier resign from your movement?
James Collier
wasn't that a slap? Wasn't that a slap in the face?
No, it wasn't a slap. It was a clash of understanding. I'm happy that James Collier departed because I didn't think that he understood our mantra. All right. And that's why in the diaspora committee, out of all of the people there, he resigned and immediately his second in command took over and she's been doing an excellent job of moving the diaspora committee forward. James Collier wanted us to be like a Palava organization. We are not a Palava organization. We are not.
No, woman. That's not what James Collier said. Basically, among many things, Kanye, I'd like to come back with this. Centrism means, and this was James Collier's position, and this is what he felt was not happening with your movement that you've duped centrism. He says non-partisan objectivity. That's what centrism means. But it seemed that your objectivity were more partisan aligned, and he had to tender his resignation.
You know, James is my own younger brother. He comes from the student movement background, right? FLA, Linsu. And I think there's an opportunity for growth in terms of governance and how we engage on his part. A student movement approach to issue is different from a national civic political movement and the centrism movement. We do not do things like Soup and Sim and Studa and the rest of the other guys. No, we're past that level.
That is descending to the national student movement,
if you think that we're going to adopt a militant style way of Haga calling your attention to something important, if you think we're going to adopt a militant style way of dealing with
stop that, he's reminding me about the time, can you?
At the end of the day, James is a brother, you know, and we will continue to engage. Differences of ideas are permitted, and we had those differences. He exited. Someone else
can you have the bag management for at least 10 minutes, but can you 1 minute on this one, and then we'll close up on this centrism thing. It seems to be as though your definition is something that you're insisting on, even though it defies the ideological, political definition of what centrism is, non-partisan objectivity. But I want you to, in 30 seconds, give us any convincing justification of why a centrism movement has to operate outside of the core issues of a non-partisan objectivity.
Well, I think your question is loaded. The centrism movement, our centrism movement does not operate outside of that. We operate within that. It's just that our approach is different. And people want us to be the traditional political party approach where we are insulting government every day instead of offering ideas that can help to deal with the challenges.
But Kenny, you are speaking for the people more than the people are speaking for themselves. The people are telling you
every time you ask me questions.
No, because you are attempting to say what the people have not said. Who are
you are the one who say I'm operating outside of what is balanced. I disagree with that. I dismiss that. I think that is patently untrue. We operate within the standard frame of centrism, which is talk about good, what is proper, and support government, offer alternatives and ideas how to deal with challenges, not to be the one who fosters disagreement, who fosters strife, who creates a society that is plagued by many other issues. No, we are here to help, not to tear down. And if you read our 2025 statement, we offer a number of suggestions to government, qualitative suggestions. Nobody will pick up that statement and highlight the things that we're saying to government. Nobody. But what they want is to come out and lambast government. And when you don't do that, then they claim that you're not centrist. Our approach is different. We have ideas. We are people who have worked for many years in different sectors. If we cannot bring that to bear to move the country forward, then what are we doing? And we're open to all opposition actors. I just gave you an example. Janga running away from me. I don't know. You think when he take picture with me, they will be
is it difficult to be a centrist in Liberia? Is it difficult task to be a centrist in Liberia today?
I think it's quite difficult because there are people who believe that it has to be black or it has.
Are you catching hell? Are you catching hell?
No, I'm not catching hell. I'm resilient. I know that when you take a position, there'll be those who will come for you, those who believe that you should be on their side. Freedom FM is a pro-CDC station, has always been. So I expect that most of their listeners and other people will be people who will be against what I'm saying now and the things that I've said before. Many citizens, have engaged me that they think that I should be of that same opposition.
Are you proud of this position? Are you proud of this centrism position that have garnered lots of criticism from allies and friends, and of course political allies? Are you satisfied? Are you proud of your decision to be a Unity Party allied or aligned centrist? Are you
You're trying very hard, Abu, but like I keep saying, you are woefully failing. This whole attempt.
Are you a Unity Party aligned centrist? Are you a Unity Party aligned centrist?
It will not fly. I am not disappointed. I know that when we embark upon this position, I know that there was going to be flack. I knew people will come for me. And it will not end now. It will continue. This is what I term as occupational hazard. When you take a position that certain things you can't avoid, it will happen. But what
lastly, quickly, and then we'll go to the phone lines. 1 minute. During the Capitol building.
No, I was making this, I haven't ended this point. In the midst of all of this criticism that is coming, there is also a small body that is awakening to what we are doing, and they are reaching out and joining us and saying they want.
Even though people are resigning from your movement.
Who people? One person resigned. You know how many people have resigned from CDC?
Several people have resigned. Not that they've become public.
From CDC and UP.
In district number 3, a bunch of young people have resigned from aligning themselves with you.
Abu, it does not change the fact that we are marching forward.
It says that you are getting unpopular. It says that you are getting unpopular. People are leaving you.
I don't know about that. No one's leaving, and not leaving me. There's a whole movement of people that are working together. No one's leaving me. This is not my property. This is the property of the people who are.
No, but the ideals that you're espousing appear contrary to the general good of the public.
We have a member steering committee. We have a 22-member secretariat. We have currently expanded to 5,000 members across the country. They're not Bakande Bagbala. It's not me. It's a whole movement of people, and we are rapidly growing. So the Councilor
Bagbala, will you be pleased if your movement is branded a Bwaka Brigade?
Well, it's not about my pleasure or not. It's about what we are doing, and we're committed to what we are doing. For me, there will always be all these things. UP Alive, Bwaka Brigade, Surrogate, just because we take the positions that we take. So we're not going to be sidetracked or distracted by that. Never. We're going to move forward. We have an.
Thank you very much. 0776 104. Thank you very much. 0776 104 104 104. +23186500104. His name is Councillor Kanu Gbagbala, and of course, he's been our guest right here, taking our questions on wide range of issues. Let's hear from you. Good morning.
Good morning. Yeah, my son, I would thank you. Thank you so much for you and Eka. I show that particular issue of you. Without that carry back what I mean.
Call your name now. You call your name.
Identify yourself and please.
Yeah, I'm not for the PHP community.
Okay, do you have questions for him?
Yeah, I got issues with him.
Okay, go ahead.
Barbara was the spokesman for CDC 2023. He joined the CDC after the 2023 election. That CDC has gained power. He was there to go and take that credit. But today, during the election, thinking that George Brown was going to win again. When you were spokesman for CDC.
All right, thank you very much. You've made a point. Your time, Kanye will take note. Let's take never good morning.
You gotta lower down the
Good morning. No, she's speaking to your flip-flop. That's what she's asking about. She's agitated about.
You cannot characterize my move as flip-flopping.
No, that's what she thinks about it. But 1 minute, Kanye will come to you. Not me. It's the caller. Okay. 1 minute, Kanye. 1 minute. Never. Let's hear you.
Thank
you very much.
Position, you call it flip-flopping?
I think Kanye.
Kanye, I'm sorry. Kanye, okay, I retract the statement. I was only trying to.
I'm a serious man.
Okay, Kanye will take it back. Let me progress now, my brother. Okay, let me progress. Can you never you lie?
You're not come here and come insult my person.
You being the captain spokesperson, and he said from the beginning they were taking the discussion here or your colleague or but you were not giving a dime, but you were the captain spokesperson at the time. So can you try to tell us that today you will work out? Take tomorrow, but cannot give me a dime. He going into another direction.
Okay, thank you very much.
Let's talk to Musa Brown from the diaspora. Musa, morning.
Hey, good morning, Abu, and good morning, Hagar.
Morning.
And good morning to my junior brother Councillor Kanu Gbagbala.
Call the man is Councillor Kanu Gbagbala, man. Forget about that junior brother thing. Call the man Councillor Kanu Gbagbala.
Yeah. Councillor Kanu Gbagbala. Look, let me say something. Can you continue to flip-flop? It is just a shame, Can you
again, like I said, I will not entertain any insult against my person.
No, he will never. Please, no. We cannot. He nobody is going to insult your person. He's only describing a sign description.
I will not sit on a public platform and
Musa, to make your point, just take that word back because we want to keep Kanye. We don't want Kanye to go. We'll have the last conversation.
He needs to retract that statement if he wants to continue to engage with me.
No, you got to retract. Just retract the flip.
If you want to engage with me, you retract. You don't have to talk to me, my brother. That will still be okay.
But this is the same Kanu Gbagbala after the Ashford case.
I didn't hear the retraction, my man.
He has retracted. He said it's okay. He has retracted that.
What's okay?
So can you keep
You think a serious guy that will sit down here for someone to come pick up phone and just insult my person? This guy will be joking.
This is the same Kanu that a 14-year-old girl was raped by a deputy minister from the public from Youth and Sport. Kanu, the center did not come out to say anything. This is the same Kanu. Before even Kanu founded the century, Kanu aligned himself with government. President Joseph Boakai has a series of meetings.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Musa, let's talk to somebody else, please. Time.
Good morning. Good morning. Hello.
Good morning, Abu.
Good morning, sir. Your name? Where are you calling from?
You want to hold on?
Oh my God.
Okay, since he's not ready, let's get David King from here. David, morning. 30 seconds quickly.
Yeah. Good morning, Abu, and good morning to Ega and Dalo Kanu. Kanu, since you started your androcentrism movement or whatever you call it, this is my first time having interaction with you. But I am surprised, and I am now also surprised. Because the reason I am not surprised in 2017, in District 3 where I live, you contested on the Liberty
David King.
Yeah, David King. And he knows me well. He knows me. And you said that during the campaign you never have fun. But my one of my guy, which is civil advisor board, well, we're in Grangie there. You call him and give me $700 for our movement. Where did you get that money from?
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much.
Let's talk to Masisi from here.
Okay, take Masisi and then.
Good morning to Kano Bagbara. This is Masisi, Mr. Bala. Look, let me say this, Mr. Bala. Shouldn't lie to the public. We all were informed for campaign. He was a campaign, and money was allotted to him to serve the campaign team.
You informed me. You saw him with money.
Yes, but yes, let our informing.
Okay, so two persons, somebody. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you. Somebody in Bomi and somebody in Grangie. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Abu.
Good morning.
And good morning to the people of Lofa County. Well, Abu, my name is Mohammed Bongo from California. Well, I just, want to tell you guys thank you this morning about interviewing Mr. Kano Bagbala. Well, Mr. Kano Bagbala, you have already said it during I listened to your exponent. Well, you already said that you are partisan organization. We all heard it. So, it's a partisan organization. What's that?
Okay, thank you very much.
Let's talk to Peter Sa. Peter, morning.
Good morning, here guys. Good morning, Abu. I want to say thank you for your conversation and money. Because of time, I have a series of questions, but I will just, quick.
30 seconds you've got. Just one question,
okay,
please.
To Councilor Kano Bagbala, there are people who believe that your state of supporting and lambasting this government in the past, the lambasted government is supposed to be. And now that you have come to support it, people believe that it is, suicidal depredation.
Okay.
How will you compromise that?
Morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
No, Abu.
What is your name? What is your name?
I'm Dwell Crusoe.
Okay, let me civilize, please. Go ahead. Okay.
You know what happened to Genghis Khan? Thank you.
Okay, let's talk to this person from the WhatsApp line. Morning.
After that, I'll take one more.
Morning, Abu. Morning. I'm Alex Korea, joining from Neva District 7.
Okay, go ahead.
Go ahead, Alex.
Thank you for having me on your platform this morning. So let me quickly applaud the councillor this morning, and also I want to ask a question. In our several issues during the region of the CDC. So he mentioned about he played key role at the position he occupies, that today that the Liberian people are benefiting from, they are enjoying. So my question to the councillor this morning, I he sometimes acknowledged that the Unity Party, he sometimes acknowledged the Unity Party people that as CDC administration, he did extremely well. I'm one of those who can testify to it.
Go ahead with your question, my friend.
Senator Zopino for granted that he said everything that CDC did in a region, it was wrong. And Councillor Bala said in one person who is patriotic, but he's not speaking the fact. He's not taking the side of Unity Party.
All right, thank you. Let's take the last person there.
Person finally from this side. Morning.
Good morning, Abu. My name is Abba Sherry, and I'm going for Zimbabwe.
Go ahead.
Number one, what the work of Central? Number one, Central is that there to propagate the bullet of the government.
I think he addressed that.
And the second move, I want to know what are the Central is the better driven Central for him. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. And those are the views. We can't take all of the calls. The calls are in the numbers. Of course, we have to go because of time. So, Councillor Bala, you've listened to Liberians. These are unfiltered opinions from the ordinary masses as to what they make of where you stand currently and all of that. How do you address yourself to the concerns?
Well, thank you, Abu Haga. I take everything that has come in good faith. In fact, the reason I'm here is because I know that Freedom FM is an ideological hotbed of the CDC, and those that are in the opposition, that close to 95% of their listeners and callers are citizens and people who are in the
No, they were independents that call. They were independent Liberians that call.
May I continue? And I believe that
I wanted to set that record straight because you're indicting our
I'm not indicting you. That's not based on you. I did my independent.
It's not based on no, I just wanted the public to know that we have independents that equally follow us.
Abu, but how will I respond when you keep interrupting me?
No, I give you time to respond. Go ahead. I just want to set the record straight, please.
But let me go ahead now, and I will repeat because you've been hijacking me. Based on my independent assessment, the Freedom FM is the ideological hotbed of the opposition, and majority of your listeners and callers are citizens. And that's why I decided to come to your platform.
Hey, you're just democratic. Go ahead.
You cannot just speak to people who agree with you. You must also speak to people who disagree with you. Let them understand where you come from. Even if they don't accept it, give them an opportunity to hear where you come from. And that's why I believe having this conversation with you is very good, and I appreciate it. And I take every feedback in good faith. Just a few things to respond to. The money issue, all right? Look, I have cited an OKOK will come and deny for propaganda purposes, but 3 weeks into the campaign, I told KOK for a meeting at the CDC campaign headquarters. And I put him in a meeting with Honorable Len Eugene Nangbe. When KOK engaged me as spokesperson and head of media, that there was very little support going to entities that were doing great work supporting the CDC. I told him that. And I said, it's not my fault that 3 weeks into the campaign, no money is available. And if KOK is somebody who will stand by the truth, he will vouch that this meeting happened 3 weeks into the campaign.
And is it also true that you transfer 700 to somebody in Grenjida?
Entities that are supporting the CDC like you are not receiving a dime, and you were also this one. But again, we are in a political theater, so people will not acknowledge that. So for somebody to come here and say, I was sharing 700 in Bomi, when we even went to Bomi, a dime and not meant this.
No, 700 in Grenjida. You forwarded 700 to the name of Grenjida.
I've dealt with that money issue, and I will not go there, right? My point I was trying to make about the slow disbursement of cash in the campaign is that we took it upon ourselves to do what we had to do before even money became available. That
okay.
Is
no, can you? You're changing the narrative. Can you? You're saying no. 1 minute, can you? This is information. This is information. You said there was disbursement. No, but can you now? Come on. There was no disbursement, but initially you said there was no money available.
You are the interviewer. You got a platform where I go, you can say everything you want to say. But I'm here, the little time I have, you're not even giving me the chance to say what I have to say. All right.
You have all the time. 1 minute.
KOK can go to church. He just got married in one church. If he himself know he attended that meeting, I challenge him to come say that lie. And he was in church recently, but it happened because of the fact of the matter. Anyway, let me that point this name. Somebody asked about me supporting the president as societal degradation. Look, people need to move beyond the president and think about the country. Today, it is President Boyka. Tomorrow, it could be anybody else. For more than 100 plus years, 170 years, this country has been inching along in development, not moving and galloping as we want it to be. We need to get to a point where it's not about who leads, but it's about the good things that can happen. Inclusivity. Let's bring everybody together with skills and give them opportunity. It's one of the things we've advanced to the president. That look, whether it's CDC or UP or anybody, if young people have skills and they are yearning to serve their country in different places, give them those opportunities.
That is a question coming, right?
And I think the president is listening to that because when we last met him, he said to all of us who met him, he said, look, this is not just about UP and UP partisans. Yes, I mean, politically, we will give opportunities at the political level to those who are there, who share our ideology. But the opportunities we are creating is for Liberians. That's why we are building a football academy in Bon County. That's why he said
even though no opposition figures are being dismissed from the government, can you? Have you raised that up with the president? Even though new opposition figures are being dismissed from the government that you are aware of.
Abu, I am not the Minister of Information of the Boyka government.
But you seem to be speaking for the government.
Of the social movement. And I speak particularly to the issues that I have knowledge about, that I've been able to find and verify.
When you have other issues,
don't you have knowledge? Are you not knowledgeable of the fact that opposition have lost the job simply because they're opposition?
I'm speaking to my certain knowledge about my engagement with President Boakai and the assurances that he has given some of us about where he wants to take this country under his leadership. Now, Alex asked me something, right? Look, government is about continuity. No one government or leadership will develop this country because that's why we have constitutional term limits. At the end of the day, somebody else will come. And that person will have to build upon the foundation set by their predecessor. We have to be open to the possibility that government will always change, but we should want the best for our country. That is what centrism is all about. And we are not so much so allied with the UP to the exclusion of the opposition. But the opposition
are you disowning your friends?
When Jangakoa continues to run away from me because he's afraid that if he's seen with me, sedition will call for his Uber, how do you engage with the biggest opposition party in the country? But it's the same people who will go and say that, look, you're not engaging with the CDC, you are pro-UP. So that's with charity.
Thank you, Kanye.
Call other opposition actors to vote. Let them not just malign other people's character. Let us engage proactively. And I will be in the country on the weekend, and next week, I will be making the rounds again, consolidating the centrist position. We will again reach out to members of the opposition. And if they want to sit down with us, so we run into conversation that can move the country forward, we'll engage. If Jaga wants to, we will talk.
Thank you very much. It has been
our centrist position.
Okay,
let me close by saying, Abu, I know you want me to leave now.
Time is actually.
Let me thank both of you. I hope that I can come and sit in studio next week when I'm in town.
Of course.
Let's keep talking. We want to.
We will arrange a debate. We will arrange a debate with you and somebody who disagrees. I will talk to you about it. Are you afraid of debate?
I don't want to come. Right now, we are building a movement. And
so you don't want challenge to your ideology. You get a position. You want people to challenge it into debate.
No, it's not about a debate. I think if we are debating, we should be debating the best way to move the country forward. Let people come with development ideas. Let me put mine down. Let them put them down. Not to talk about President Boakai, President Weah, personality.
Okay, you will come. We'll have in-studio conversation.
And I'll be prepared to have that conversation.
Okay. All right, his name is Councilor Kanye Gbagbala, and of course, thank you very much. And so we look forward to other very engaging conversation with him. It has been a wonderful interaction so far. Thanks a lot for your role as listeners and, of course, contributors in every way possible. We look forward to meeting you tomorrow. Hey, we got to go. Time is off.
Yes, so we will be here on tomorrow to continue just from where we stopped today. Until then, let's keep the peace of Liberia.
So until we see you tomorrow, this has been the Tuesday morning presentation of the Freedom Money Ride. My name is Abu Sharif. Hagar Gonda has been here. Until we see you tomorrow, do have a wonderful time. Bye-bye.